Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Zeenat Kapadia, and on behalf of Tata Tele Business Services, I would like to welcome each one of you to this amazing conference on Do Big Conclave. And today's theme of this conference is going to be Mumbai Business and Industry Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move ahead, let me just share a few words on about the conclave. Dubik Conclave is an customer engagement education initiative across the cities where industry leaders from across business verticals convene to discuss how digital technologies are being used to deliver compelling products and services, connect faster with customers, and optimize cost. The conclaves are an engagement platform for customers wherein on a continual basis, Tata Tele Business Services tries to understand the challenges and provide them with relevant digital solutions. Prevailing the current global situation of efficiently operating with limited capacity, our smart solution will enable you to efficiently work from home to meet the ends of your customers and organizational needs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to move ahead with the conference, please allow me to invite Mr. Chandrakant Salunke, Founder and President, SME Chamber of India and SME Technology Development Council for welcome and introductory remarks.
On behalf of SME Chamber of India and SME Technology Development Council, it's my immense pleasure to welcome you at the Mumbai Business and Industry Summit. The theme is today's do big and improve your capabilities and capacities to enhance your business activity. Today we are focusing on particularly on the technology, marketing, finance, SME empowerment, and especially the SMEs, those are in industries, those are looking for transformation in their business, how we can provide you more smart business solutions, and of course, value addition services to you. Always, each entrepreneurs or every entrepreneur are looking for, doing big. They have a lot of dreams, they have a lot of initiatives, they have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of concepts, but how they will, convert into commercialization, that is the most important question. For that purpose, SME Chamber of India is always on forefront to provide you value addition services, hand-holding support, especially for the business growth, expansion, business connection, business development, national and international level. Last many days, rather last 24, 26 months, every morning we say, Zoom pe milna mujhe. So everybody was zooming from morning to midnight. So we should give a big hand to Zoom also. Even WebEx का मीटिंग होगा तो भी Zoom पे मिलते हैं, WhatsApp कॉल पे हो तो भी Zoom पे मिलते हैं. तो Zoom ने सबको जुमा दिया है. तो let us, most of the entrepreneurs started taking, and of course credit goes to Tata Tele Business Services because Zoom was there, but the expansion and development for the Zoom activity or Zoom platform is given by the Tata Tele Business Services, especially for the small and medium entrepreneurs. Friends, every entrepreneur is looking for three things: money, manpower, and market. So how they can utilize this, how they can avail this, and how they can take advantage of these 3M. Most of the entrepreneurs looking for technology, transformation, and trends. Without trends, they are not opening their eyes because trends क्या मेरे बाजू में कौन सा competitor खड़ा है, जब तक आप नहीं देखते तब तक आपके इसमें business में बढ़ोतरी नहीं होगी. That is the most important thing. Yesterday I was in Delhi and I was interacting with the one foreign secretary, the external ministry affairs secretary, and he was telling abundant opportunity for Indian companies available in GCC countries, GCC, even South Africa. He said there are plenty of businesses. They are looking for partnership with the Indian companies, Indian entrepreneurs, because Indian entrepreneurs are giving words, तो commit करते हैं तो करके दिखाते हैं. एक बहुत अच्छा एक उन्होंने मुझे कल एक सुझाव दिया है कि इंडियन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के ऊपर बहुत विश्वास है इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर. This is a good opportunity for Indian entrepreneurs to explore emerging business opportunity in different countries. Even yesterday, we have presented suggestions and recommendation to the Ministry of MSME, because Ministry of MSME is now forming a new policy which is useful for the Indian entrepreneurs, especially on the marketing, business development, expansion their activities in the national international market, international cooperation, especially in a joint venture, technology transfer, contract manufacturing. And another very interesting thing, how we can encourage new entrepreneurship. आपको पता है कि 2 साल में स्पेशली वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स फेस अ लॉट प्रॉब्लम. एक तो फैमिली देखना है, दूसरा घर के बाहर निकलते समय कहाँ जाना है, कैसे जाना है, एक फियर था कोरोना का. सो this is a good opportunity now to encourage and create a new entrepreneurship. So government is taking keen interest in that. Another very interesting point we discussed yesterday, that how we can provide value addition services to SME sector, because those are SMEs already into manufacturing industry. Those are having say turnover from 25 crore to around 100 crores. How they will go next level. 10x उनका expansion growth कैसा होना चाहिए, वो बहुत जरूरी है. तो that is means we have to think big. आप जब do big की बात करते हो तो आपको सोचना है, करना है और करके आपको दिखाना है, because India is now growing. Honorable Prime Minister looking India as a manufacturing hub for the world. How we will achieve the $5 trillion economy on behalf of India, on behalf of government, you are going to play important role. So friends, this is a time now to take advantage, and this is a time now to involved in these activities where you can do something. I know most of the entrepreneurs are facing problem, particularly for money market and money market and other things. But mostly yesterday, even I met the MD of Punjab National Bank. He said all the banks are having lot of money now. Only they are looking entrepreneurs to come with a viable proposal. The proposal which is useful for the bank. Bank can easily accept that. So this is a very good interest for particularly entrepreneurs, those are starting business. Even though I had given proposal to the Ministry of Finance yesterday morning, I met the Minister of State for Finance. I said make a 5 crore loan to small entrepreneurs, collateral free loan, and more than 25 to 35 crore for medium sized industry. This can be depend on the sector, cash flow, their cash management, their marketing, and mostly the company, how the company is growing, depend on that. They can. So government is considering. So these are all the facilities for the, especially for the SME sector, and government has understood that without SME, India will not grow, and without SME, India will not achieve the target. ये अगर समझो हमने ये ख्वाब देखते हैं तो याद है आपको 1983 में हमने एक ख्वाब देखा था कि हम वर्ल्ड कप जीतेंगे. आपने कभी सोचा था कि वर्ल्ड कप जीतेंगे? वो किसने कराया कारनामा? Who was the man? कपिल देव. अगर जिम्बाब्वे के सामने उसने कितने 175 रन किए थे ना, 175 नॉट आउट था उस वक्त. अगर कपिल देव ने नहीं करता तो आई थिंक वी वर नॉट able to that time achieve that goal. So that was a point. Means Kapil Dev सिर्फ bowling नहीं करता था, तो Kapil Dev क्या करता था? Batting भी करता था. So 4 and 6ers. So we want to see today 4 and 6ers with our Kapil Dev here today. So Kapil Dev will present today how you will use tricks, techniques and technology to improve your capacity, improve your skill. Then only you will be success. With this word, thankful to Tata Tele Business Services, and let me present you Kapil Dev. IRG, come here.
Before I invite Mr. Kapil Dev Iyer on stage, there's a quick introduction that I would like to give. Mr. Kapil Dev Iyer is a Vice President, Demand Generation and Marketing Enterprise, Tata Tele Business Services, to give the presentation on Smart Business Solution for Business Growth and Expansion. Can I please have you on stage now,
Thank
sir?
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, thank you, Salunke sir, for that very different kind of an introduction. I do have an association of my name back to the World Cup. So, you know, when I was born, my name was Karthikeyan, and I was born in that era. And when the World Cup was won, my parents changed my name to Kapil Dev. That's why you see a strange combination of Kapil Dev Iyer, you know. And the Iyer comes in because I've been brought up in Gujarat. Normally, South Indians don't put a surname when they're there in South. So, there is a correlation, and I think there's a pleasant memory back in terms of what it is. And we will try, I mean, as Tata Tele Business Services, to kind of help MSMEs do big and, you know, scale bigger in the world arena rather than just focusing on the Indian arena. Today, I think the topic that we're going to spend the next 30 minutes odd is how can we accelerate growth through digital solutions? How can MSMEs accelerate their growth through digital solutions? Because at the end of it, if we have to go to a $5 trillion economy, MSMEs have to play a critical role, and growth is the underlying lever which will allow us to get there. So our focus today will be largely on discussing some of the examples of how people have already scaled big. We all know these numbers, but I think I want to start with a clear emphasis that MSMEs actually are a robust foundation of the Indian GDP. Today we have anywhere between over 6 crore MSMEs, more than 30% of contribution to the GDP, more than 40% of, you know, the export market comes in from MSMEs. And above all, about 11 crore odd jobs are, you know, currently there with MSMEs. And if we look at the aspiration of saying that if India has to reach to a $5 trillion economy, the contribution of MSMEs to the GDP has to move from 30% to 50%, which means it's a multiplier effect. If they go to the 50% mark, employment will get generated, India will also achieve its dream. The important part is the MSME story is, you know, evolving. We are clearly seeing a digital shift, and I'm, you know, using that term digital shift very cautiously because we are seeing trends which are now becoming dominant. You can see some numbers there. 72% of the digital payments for MSMEs are happening digitally. 27% of their sales are happening in an online mode. And if you see the number there, just 2 years ago, the number was about 12%. So there's been a whopping 2x plus growth in the contribution of online or / digital sales for MSMEs. And you see that 80-90% growth of seller registrations in various e-commerce platforms. And the last section of those seller registrations are no one but MSMEs. So there is already a huge digital shift which is happening amongst the MSMEs. The other encouraging part is that's not, you know, it. MSMEs in their aspiration also want to leapfrog. So when we look at the surveys which are happening, over 50% of the MSMEs in fact want to even digitize more in the coming 2 years. So we are seeing very clearly MSME is a robust foundation for India. We are seeing a digital shift, and the aspiration of MSMEs to grow more digitally is also visible. Is it restricted to one segment? When you say, hey, MSME, I'm an MSME in financial services, I'm an MSME in IT, ITES, education. Does it all apply to me, or it's specific to one particular segment? What we are clearly seeing is this is almost industry vertical agnostic. Every industry vertical within MSME is actually on the path of digital transformation. Just a case in point, I think part of the slide is not visible, but I'll speak it out. In financial services, we are seeing multiple trends emerging. We are seeing newer brands coming in. You all must be exposed to fintech companies in your life, insurance tech companies coming in your life, newer brands coming into your life. As a customer, our expectation from any financial service provider is instant. You know, if I do a transaction, I should instantly get a reaction. I should instantly get a view as to whether my transaction is successful or not. Be it a financial broking company, be it a bank or any other segment within the financial services. There are newer business models itself emerging, whether you look at crowdfunding platforms, P2P lending platforms, newer models emerging which allow like what Salunke sir was saying, in terms of funding to become more accessible to the MSME arena. And the last, I think, over the pandemic, all of us have realized that there is, boundaryless workforce which is going to stay. Whether we like it or not, all of us have been dabbling to say that what percentage of people will come back to office? Should it be 100%? Should we mandate all of them to come back? The reality is you'll never get back to 100%. And you will never get back to, getting the efficiencies of the flexible workforce. So I think MSMEs and all organizations have realized that a boundaryless workforce is something that is going to stay. In a more agile way we adapt to a reality of boundaryless workforce will help us to scale our revenues also far further. The underlying stuff, what is digital enabling financial services to do is to move from just a convenience orientation to omnipresence. I mean, today you all must be exposed as a consumer, right? You may get an SMS, you may get a WhatsApp message, you may get a call, you may get an email. It's almost like every channel, and if you go on to Facebook, you will see an ad which comes in. How is that happening? Underlying to all of it is a digital solution which enables that, hey, if this is a customer who's shown an interest in a particular kind of a product, then I need to kind of engage with the customer across omni-channels. So from convenience, which was to say, hey, I'll go to a bank, a branch of a bank or a stockbroker, and try and get my transaction done, you technically are, you need to be omnipresent if you have to scale in financial services across the board. When we look at IT/ITES, I think this is something all of us, some way or the other, read a lot about. In IT/ITES, there is a rising, we all know in IT or in the BPO segment, there are a lot of call centers which are coming, normal call for prospecting, normal calling for customer service. But there is an emergence of digital services coming. I mean, some of you may be running call centers where, you get business for robotic process automation. You get business for business automation coming in for various of your clients. So the nature of the business within IT/ITES is moving towards more digital-led services. That's because inherently those end customers are evolving in a digital fashion. You want your workforce, the boundaryless workforce which is there in IT/ITES, to kind of operate from anytime, anywhere. At the end, for any BPO or any IT setup, it is the people who are the core. So you need to have those people enabled to effectively and productively work across the board. The other thing that is evolving, and you guys as MSMEs must be seeing, I think the IT/ITES end client is wanting more skin in the game, right? Gone are the days where say, hey, you have 10 agents, I'll pay you per agent, and that's it. Whether your agent delivers the end outcome or not, I don't care. Today, I think it is moving from a completely fixed model to a model where they're saying, hey, you also, take a bite, put your skin in the game in terms of what value you're bringing to me, in terms of business outcomes. So IT/ITES, we're seeing more skin in the game, more outcome-led business models which are coming up. Largely when you go, there's one part which is core to IT/ITES. At the end, they have to be profitable. People are the largest cost, and we all are seeing that there is a huge demand for people, talent, specifically digital talent, and you need to kind of compensate them if you have to retain. So at then, how do you then still be profitable if, the largest cost in your P&L is continuing to increase and you don't have too much control on that? The focus then is automation in your processes so that your requirement for n number of manpower comes down substantially. Which is where, again, digital solutions come in to say that in your processes, how can you automate so that maybe instead of needing X number of agents, you need 0.8X number of agents so that you continue to be profitable as you grow. The underlying shift, again, there is IT/ITES was largely a service-driven setup. The focus is, can they move into a solution-driven setup? Solutions which enable their end client to get better business outcomes. Education, I think this is the most well-known kind of industry because each one of us at some point in time get touched with it. Our kids, our colleagues, all of them have used. There is clearly a momentum on online learning. Whether we like it or not, while kids have started to go back to classrooms, but the fact is the online momentum of learning will continue to be there. There's also a very niche education platform which comes in. Nobody would have imagined here, that, 5th standard ka bacha coding seekhega. I mean, at least I couldn't have imagined in my lifetime to say that in 5th standard I will think of robotics, of coding kind of stuff. And here you have multiple platforms which are niche education platforms, and there is peer pressure. I mean, I as a parent, I also keep getting a view saying that, hey, I have a daughter, she says, I also want to learn what coding is. I mean, for a 5th standard kid, asking about coding itself is a big thing, and now to say that, hey, I want to go into it is a different thing, which means what it is telling us is within the education industry, which was almost a homogeneous kind of an industry where it was only classroom training, specific some subjects that you used to read about, niche education platforms are coming in. Robotics and coding is just one of it, which also tells that there is opportunity. If any one of you are looking at, the space within education, you can carve out a niche. There's enough and more opportunity just beyond the models that are present in terms of the known models of online learning. Gamification, we all know, I mean, every kid likes PUBG, so if you can bring in gamification into what you learn, the learning outcomes itself become far better. But there, I think the underlying stuff is classroom model is what we lived with for ages. In the pandemic, it was purely online. Even when kids get back to school, I think for the kids, while some part of their learning will go back to the classroom mode, their learning process will never go back, never be only classroom. It will have to be hybrid. It will continue to be hybrid. And how hybrid is being enabled, I mean, like what was mentioned, there are multiple solutions, Zoom and multiple other solutions which enable the processes to run in a hybrid model so that we can get better business outcomes. I think this is an important question, and for us today we are here to deliberate to say, hey, all of this is great. I have heard a lot of lectures जहाँ पे लोग बोलते हैं कि यार ये solution लेना चाहिए, वो solution लेना चाहिए. But I am an SME. What do I need to do? What are the questions that I need to first start thinking in my mind before getting into that journey of digital transformation, which eventually helps me to do better in my business? I think the first question is, if I'm an MSME, I should say, hey, am I ready for the digital era? In your mind, you should first say, hey, am I ready or not? Because it has to start in your mind. If you are in your mind confused to say, यार I think करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, कोई और कर रहा है इसलिए करूं, नहीं. Are you ready? First thing, are you prepared to say that if you don't take that step, your business can get disrupted? Whether it will happen today, whether it will happen 4 years down the line, God knows, but one fine day if you don't take that journey, your business will get disrupted. And the third part that you need to ask yourself is the current setup that you operate, right, is enabled enough for digital transformation? And I think if you answer these 3 questions to say that yes, in my mind, and I'll subsequently take you through why this is important, is if you are ready for the digital era, if you are prepared to say that my business will get disrupted. I think that's a starting point to say that I may be in a physical world, I may be doing supply chain, I may be doing logistics, but my world will get disrupted by someone who comes in and picks up the whole thing. If you are clear that that's going to happen, in your mind you are ready, and then you start evaluating, saying that how good, bad, ugly your setup is to start the digital transformation process. And the reason is very simple. Digital transformation is not a 100-meter race. मैं आज चालू कर दिया, वहाँ पहुँच गया, खत्म. It's not a sprint. It's never going to be a sprint. And there is no reason for you to go too fast. I mean, there will be a lot of people and there will be a lot of anxiety to say, yaar, have I missed the bus? How soon should I go there? How slow should I be? It's very clear. We've had multiple experiences. I think you have to look at it as a marathon race. For a marathon race, you have to be very sure that you follow a discipline, you are fitter, and you are actually taking steps one at a time. Not just saying I run a 100-meter exhaust and then मुझे पता नहीं कि क्या होने वाला. And this is where I think it starts. And I have made this observation even before to say that don't get swayed by what your peer group around is doing. I think each one of you are running very independent business models, very independent business. So first and foremost, you ask yourself to say that identify the key business requirements which you are struggling today. It could be to say, hey, I'm struggling to get scale. It could be today to say that I'm not profitable enough. I am getting volume, but I'm not profitable enough. It's important for you to understand what is that business requirement that you are trying to solve in your journey towards digital transformation. Look at what part of that pain point can actually get transformed. Then go back and look at what are the variety of solutions available. Pick one, start small. I mean, I think many speakers may have told you saying, hey, look at a big digital transformation at one go. I think, it will give you big dividends. No, because digital, transformation has to start small, because it's not just the solution that you use. It's your team's mindset, it's your own mindset to get adapted to a digital way of doing things. If you don't blend both of them, you may have the best software, best solution in the world, but you will not reap the dividends. So fundamentally, it is important for you to assess, map, build a roadmap, and then start that roadmap gradually. And then once you get comfort to say that, hey, first 1-2 years, I have now understand what I'm doing, get that comfort, then take the hockey stick in terms of your scaling. Don't jump into it without knowing what you are targeting. And the question then comes in is, hey, all of this is great. Can you give us some pointers to say, कहाँ चालू करें? या मैं financial services में हूँ. बहुत सारी चीजें, at least you have some points to say where do I start. In financial services, whether, as I said, you are into fintech, insurtech, financial services, broking, banking, I think the digital customer onboarding is currently a given. If any of your processes for your customer onboarding is still not digital, I think start there. Because if you are not already there, you are kind of behind the competition which is there in your market. Once you have done that, saying that, hey, my customer onboarding completely is now digital. Because at the end, for any financial services company, scale comes on from customers. And we have the same set of customers that every bank, every fintech is kind of targeting. Then go back into how do you engage that customer digitally? Are you engaging your current set of customers, and do you have enough engagement models for your prospect customers, to digitally engage with them? And the third part is support. You get volume of customers. At the end, at a manual level, you can't support all of them equally. Your customer service operations can't be done manually. Then you start looking at, I've reached a scale, I need now my support to become digitally evolved. So if you're a financial services company, you've answered those questions in yes, to say that yes, I am ready for the digital era. Yes, I firmly believe that my business will get disrupted. I am not living in this utopian world to say, यार मेरा तो चलते रहेगा, पिछले 10 साल में कुछ नहीं हुआ, अगले 10 साल में नहीं होगा. You've kind of accepted that there is going to be disruption, and you've accepted that you have a setup which you can leverage to enable the transformation. And if you're in financial services, start there. In IT, I think the core part of ITES is providing seamless communication. You are a BPO, you are a small call center setup. The crux of your business is how can you have seamless communication. And the seamless communication would mean, not just one channel of communication. Today, ITES is largely focused on the voice part of the equation. But how can you have seamless communication between saying that the agent has completed the call, after that there should be a WhatsApp message which goes, or an email goes, or an SMS goes, which becomes an integrated seamless communication for the customer, is one part of the core equation. The second is, a customer has spoken to a particular agent, all of us have had those pain points. अगली बार कोई और ही एजेंट के पास कॉल लग जाता है, फिर पूरी राम कहानी बोलनी पड़ती है उसको कि यार मेरा ये प्रॉब्लम था, वो प्रॉब्लम था, and we get irritated, right? I mean, I think what e-commerce has done to us is we want everything in seconds. अगर Amazon का साइट नहीं चला 30 seconds में we flip to Flipkart, right? And that's how we've all now become, I would say, restless and slightly intolerant, and hence we expect the same thing from when we interact with the B2B services. So providing seamless communication, and obviously employees are the core for any ITES, and effective collaboration becomes the crux for what you do. In services, if you are running a broadband service, if you are running a plumbing service, if you are running any such service, I think the core is, can you deliver faster customer booking, and can you deliver faster customer service? I think there's no rocket science. Faster is the word. In service, if you're faster, and obviously you need to maintain the quality across what you provide in service, are you having your processes which deliver faster customer booking, ability to book, and faster customer support or service? That's the crux where you need to start. Say, where do I start? Start with, can I make my customer booking process faster? Education, I think today, while erstwhile we used to look at students as, यार बच्चा है पढ़ रहा है, सीख लेगा, कुछ भी कर लेगा. I mean, engineering करेगा, MBA करेगा. Now, I think the student itself has become like a customer. I think in education, people are now moving into how do I manage the student life cycle far better. Life cycle starting with saying that when a student is looking for various courses and support, who does he talk to? Is he talking to the right counselor, wrong counselor? Student has come in, there is a individual learning path expectation that everyone has today. We have not yet got there for almost saying that 50 students get one class teacher. Now I think online models have got it down to at least ability to have 1:1 for various subjects. It's still prohibitive in terms of cost, but I think slowly we'll get there. So fundamental stuff is, if you are currently in education and you have to think where to start looking at your student life cycle. Right from prospecting, you can say, hey, I think my bigger problem is I'm very small. मेरे पास तो students ही नहीं है. तो सबसे पहला काम है मेरे को students, I need more people to come into my coaching class. I need more people to come into my setup. So then focus on how can you leverage technology to increase your marketing reach. Very simple. Start there. If you say, hey, I'm reasonably spread. I have a lot of students. I have 1,000 students who are working with me. But the fact is, I'm not able to provide them a 1:1, life cycle. I'm almost treating them that all those 500 students are the same. Then I think you will never be able to scale and differentiate. Then your starting point is, I have good students. Let me look at how can I manage their life cycle better. These are just pointers. I mean, these are simple pointers, no jargons which have been used for you to start thinking, saying that if you are in any of these industries, where can you start? And eventually, these are the three things that whatever you start off with has to yield in terms of outcomes. If you have listed down saying that I'm going to start on ABC, ask yourself, is it creating new revenue streams for you? Yeah, it has to be one of these three. If it's not, then I think you have to go back to say maybe you have picked the wrong thing to start off with. Is it giving you profit uplift by increasing the efficiency of your operation? Or is it giving you better insights, and providing you an integrated operations, which means your end customer is getting a better experience and the stickiness increases. If it is not in any of these three, then I think go back and recheck whether you've made the right choice. So I think starting with the mindset change, accepting that, you will go through a disruption, looking at pointers as to where you start, but start with your own individual requirements, look at what the roadmap is, start small, don't get into, looking at it as a sprint, look at it as a marathon, look at these pointers and further check if all of what you have done in your thinking is leading to any of these three. It is not very difficult. You really, when you look at, we've made kind of lot of jargons in the way we look at how digital transformation will happen. It's a nice buzzword and it has a lot of noisy stuff as well to say that, today I keep hearing saying that how do I use AI? How do I use blockchain? The buzzwords, right? So everyone wants to use machine learning, AI, blockchain. There are multiple more things that you need to solve for before you can further leverage on all of those buzzwords. So this is largely what we've, understood from customers that we serve. Customers come back to us with the same question mark saying that where do we start? How do we start? And our philosophy always is you can do big if you understand your problem in a simple way. If you have complicated your problem statement, you will never understand your problem and hence never scale. So going into, it's, again you will come back and say, hey, Sara gyan acha hai. You've told me all of this. Actually kya hua hai? Can you tell us real, life use cases of how companies in various spheres have leveraged technology? Because that's the proof, when we all learn also, we need to see examples of what has happened well. I'll start with this. The last place that any one of you will imagine would have adopted technology is a cooperative dairy society. Is that a fair starting point? Digital transformation mein गाय भैंस cooperative society, digital transformation legi looks very strange, right? In all of this, and हमारे दिमाग में है, right? कि यार मैं तो MSME हूँ, मैं तो education में हूँ, मैं तो logistics में, मेरे लिए नहीं है ये. Cooperative dairy, and let me give you a view of what they do. This is a cooperative dairy. Their revenue stream is the cattle, right? And cattle's health is extremely important. So they have a network of 100 veterinary doctors, and they have 15 centers spread across the state. And the veterinary doctors, their core role is a farmer will call them saying that, hey, my cattle is not feeling healthy. Can you come and do a test? There is a regular test and there is a test which is reactive in nature. So the veterinary doctors, 100 of them there, ensuring that the revenue generating cattle is healthy, right? Simple, कोई complexity नहीं है. अब कैसे हो रहा था वो? आप फार्मर हो, आपने 100 डॉक्टर का नंबर दे दिया, कोई किसी एक डॉक्टर को मोबाइल फोन पे कॉल कर रहा है कि सर आप कहाँ हो, आ सकते हो क्या, 2 बजे आ सकते हो क्या? डॉक्टर ने कॉल उठाया, उठा लिया, नहीं उठाया नहीं. Revenue generating cattle, those pictures that are there, is still struggling, waiting for someone to go and track. The cooperative dairy has no way of seeing whether the whole process of providing that service to the revenue driver, which is the cattle, is happening efficiently or not. and they were struggling. किसको बोले, मतलब पता ही नहीं कि कितने लोग कॉल कर रहे हैं, तो किसको जाके बोले कि आप अच्छा कर रहे हो, खराब कर रहे हो. What they needed was, first and foremost, simple. My farmer can be in a X city or a Y city. He should have one number that he calls to. Simple, कोई complexity नहीं है. एक number दो सबको, popularize करो वो number को. The second part is, whenever the farmer calls from a city, say for example, hypothetically Bombay, he should reach to the veterinary doctor who is in Bombay. Because that's how he can go and travel to the place and, you know, do this. I mean, Mehsana, this is a Gujarat example, this is Mehsana dairy. So, you know, across Gujarat, 15 cities, the expectation is single number, farmer calling from a particular city should get connected to the veterinary doctor who is nearest to that city or based in that city. Simple. The third thing they wanted was, I need to improve, you know, my revenue. So I need to know कितने farmer किस city से call कर रहे हैं, कौन महसाना से call कर रहा है, कौन, you know, राजकोट से call कर रहा है, so on and so forth, you know, the complete belt. So that they know कि यार कुछ तो problem है, you know, ये city से farmer ज़्यादा call कर रहे हैं, ये city से कम कर रहे हैं. There should be something that is not happening. Either my veterinary doctor is not right, or there is some other issue which will then become a, you know, way for them to improve. All of it, you know, was provided to them in our cloud communication suite, which is called SmartFlow, right? What I narrated to you is the solution. The name of that solution is SmartFlow. It's an advanced cloud communication suite, which means one single number is there. It's a cloud-based suite. So you don't need to invest, the dairy didn't need to invest anything in CapEx. It's a complete OpEx model. You know, we have cost structures which vary from 1,000 rupees per month per agent to 1,700 rupees per month per agent. That's about it. And it does simple thing, single pilot number. At the back end you can map, saying that if these are the STD codes from where the number comes in, then route it to these set of mobile numbers. No complexity at all there. And you will get at a mobile number level how many calls have been received, how many calls have been answered, so that you know productivity at every veterinary doctor level to see how things can improve. It all, you know, seems from an outside to say, why would a dairy, if I had told you that there is a Mehsana dairy who's taken a cloud communication suite, would have all said, कि यार यार ये तो ऐसे ही बोल रहा है. But when you look at the use case and the solution, it sounds simple, right? This is exactly an example of, as I said, start small. Start with one of your biggest pain point, start with a digital solution for it, then scale it. Obviously, after this, they will see efficiency, they will go back and digitally transform them even more. The other, I just talked about education, you know, Vidya Mandir classes is a well-known education setup, online coaching classes, in fact, a coaching class which is evolved into online now for IIT and NEET exams. Their typical problem, obviously any education center, as I said, needs more people to enroll. Their typical model was to run into telemarketing to get more number of people. Now, same problem, COVID आ गया, पहले तो क्या सब लोग एक ही जगह बैठे हुए थे, हमको सब कुछ सिस्टम में पता चल जाता है. We had a PRI line or stuff in the center to know how many calls which particular agent or employees attended. You can also chase saying that यार तुम्हारा productivity अच्छा है, खराब है. And then they need revenue enhancement, they need more students. लोग घर पे बैठे हुए हैं. COVID always allowed them, it allowed no other option. And then say, I don't have any visibility of knowing whether my employee X is doing well, Y is doing well, so on and so forth. And they again wanted an integrated solution where they can nominate, saying that two things. One is to understand which employee is doing what kind of productive outcomes. The second is every employee had a skill set. Someone was very good at IIT JEE kind of queries, someone was good at NEET kind of queries, and hence you needed intelligent routing also to say that if a student query comes in, it gets routed to the person who's best suited to explain that query. Because if that happens, the chances of conversion of the student increases into their coaching, or chances of the student enrolling into the coaching class increases. They again picked up SmartFlow, cloud communication suite, which allowed them, you know, in a single cloud-based solution to have all of their employees could be working from any remote location to tag along to this suite, and they could get clearly who was calling whom, and routing of the calling was dynamic. Tomorrow you believe that यार मेरा एक बंदा बीमार है, right? But मेरे को अभी routing किसी और को देना पड़ेगा. You go there, click of a button, 2 minutes, you can change the mobile number. कल के जो भी call आएंगे, वो बंदे के पास जाएंगे जो available है. It's as simple as that, right? So anyone who's kind of governing it, the founder, owner, operations head, IT head, can do it almost like a flip because it's a platform, it's a cloud-based platform. Again, no infrastructure for you, no capex for you. It's just an opex model. As I said, 1,000 rupees per month per agent or 1,700 depending on your call volume. Nothing more that you need to get into. Third was a case where there's an NGO which was focusing on providing education to the remotest of students or kids in the remotest of villages. Obviously, they had government partnerships, their own partnerships with other NGOs to deliver this. Came in the pandemic. Unlike the urban kids, जिनके पास iPad है, जिनके पास पापा का smartphone है, जो अच्छा सा smartphone है, these kids didn't have any access to any of these. Their parents would have had those older phones, जिसमें शायद data pack लग भी गया तो बड़ी बात है, कोई app चलेंगे नहीं. Now, how do you solve for this part of the problem? The problem is the same. Urban students evolved by taking smartphones and tablets. They were stuck with typically two pain points. One is, how do I, because it's remotest of the places and multiple spread, how do I have something which allows huge set of students to be experiencing the classroom training in a very effective way? Number two, how do I have a solution where they don't need to depend on storage, on their dad's or parents' phone because they don't have that capability. Itna data pack, GB wala data pack, wo shayad afford hi nahi kar sakte. And how do they have all of it in a secure way? And this is where Zoom came in. This NGO adopted Zoom across the board, which allowed multiple students to get a classroom-like experience. Browser-based stuff, they don't need to even download the Zoom app on their phone if they don't have that space. And all of the reference material was being stored in cloud. So whenever they want to browse, they can go there rather than storing it on their own phone. Again, the reason I'm narrating this is the problems are real, right? We all have experienced Zoom as a consumer, but when you go to the village student, the problems are different. Their parents don't have a phone, they can't afford a data pack to store all their material. And hence you need a solution which combines all of it. And Zoom is a solution which allowed the whole thing to happen. So basic pain points solved through very elegant, cost-effective solution. The costing of Zoom, we all know, is very, very affordable. So anyone can afford those stuff. The NGO can afford, obviously any of the enterprises can also go and afford. This is still the basic version of the solution. There are more evolved solutions which when the Zoom presentation happens, you will get to know. I would just want to play a small video on SmartFlow so that whatever I have explained, maybe you get some more gist of it. We also have a demo zone setup for SmartFlow. You can have any queries that you are having in your mind, is all that. But my humble request is go to the zone with the pain point that you're facing. Explain simply, hey, I have this problem, and can SmartFlow or your solution help solve this, and understand the product as well. This is also one, thing that must be there in your mind to say that, yeah, you've talked about good digital solutions. Why do I kind of look at Tata Tele Business Services as compared to any other? There are very simple reasons I'll narrate. I think then we can debate in terms of whether you are convinced. I think if you look at the portfolio of services, what I talked about today zoomed in on one part of our service, which was the SmartFlow, which is cloud communication suite. It has multiple use cases that have evolved during the pandemic. But that said, we have a comprehensive suite of solutions You pick a solution that you want from a cloud and SaaS perspective. Sorry, I'll maybe not move around for this. Cloud and SaaS solutions, you're looking at collaboration solutions, you're looking at data connectivity, voice connectivity, you're looking at cybersecurity solutions, you're looking at marketing solutions. You have one player who has a comprehensive suite of solutions. The other pain point that we have seen from our customers is you're on your growth trajectory, right? Your time is better spent in looking at how you can expand your business, not focusing on कि यार मैंने लैंडलाइन किसी और से ले लिया है, डेटा कनेक्शन किसी और से ले लिया है, Zoom का कनेक्शन Zoom से लिया हुआ है. 4 players that you are you need all of that, right? And you are technically having 4 vendors who have provided you this service with 4 bill cycles, 4 customer support numbers. Your time is better utilized, your time, your IT guys' time, your ops guys' time is better utilized in solving business problems rather than hassling around with the customer support issues, so on and so forth. We have a comprehensive suite of solutions. We are Tatas, obviously from a customer service, our customers, whether it's a small customer or large customer, our attitude towards the customer is solve for any problem that they have immediately, and we have a comprehensive suite. So you only focus on one vendor, you only focus on one person whom you are dealing with for all your needs. It is a simple, effective solution rather than spending your time on multiple vendors. That said, it's also important that we are able to bring to you multiple digital solutions which help you solve those problems, and those are the buckets which any of the SME would have. You have a marketing issue to say, how can I increase my marketing reach? There are marketing solutions. You may say that, hey, I'm in an environment or a business which is highly regulated. I need secure kind of transactions which happen. We have cybersecurity solutions as well. You want anytime, anywhere communication. There's a whole host of cloud and SaaS solutions. You want basic connectivity, as I said, you want basic voice connectivity, basic data connectivity, that's also there. So we are the one-stop shop for a comprehensive suite of solutions that will help SMEs to do big. I would just want to play one video which almost summarizes all the solutions. That's a big list that you saw. I think the video will allow you to absorb some of it far better. That just gives you a glimpse of the width of products that we have. I think some of it we have explained. And I mean, anywhere you're getting slightly perturbed by the jargons that have been used, don't worry. I think each one has an underlying pain point that it solves for, and we will help you understand what that pain point is. To sum it up, I think we internally and we are the Tatas, our focus is to, continue to be saying that we would be a trusted partners to SMBs. And how do we build that trust? As I said, we are the one-stop shop for, a huge variety, comprehensive suite of solutions. We've always believed that any solution that we bring to the table has to be simple, plug and play. It can't be very complicated because at the end, you are also running a very lean IT team. You don't want someone who is an expert to understand how to use those solutions. Security is underlying. Any solution that comes in would be secure, very clearly aligning back to the data privacy norm, and reliable. We have a huge customer service operations to ensure that if it is a small enterprise or a medium enterprise or large enterprise, if they have a problem, we are there to solve for the problem. We are not going to walk away to say, hey, this is a small enterprise and I will not, treat them as much as what a large enterprise is. So our customer service, ensuring that our customer has the problem solved for, and trying to avoid the problem at the first instance proactively, but if God forbid there is a problem that they encounter, to solve it the fastest so that your business continues to run, is what we continuously believe in. And hence, if you are looking for a trusted partner for SMBs, I think that's the core word. We are not claiming to say that, hey, we are the most, as I said, ahead of the curve solutions, complicated solutions. You want someone you want to trust with. You want someone who will tell you what is the right decision to be made. Please come to us. Some set of customers, I think I'll skip. It shows a variety of customers that we have across various domains who've kind of trusted us. The more important stuff for us is, all of what we do every day, when it gets recognized by multiple forums, multiple industry bodies, it gives us more motivation for us to do big, for us to continue on this journey to enable MSMEs to do big. Some of the recognitions we've recently been awarded the Enterprise Service Provider of the Year by ET Telecom. We have been awarded Customer Obsession Award by CII. We've been awarded by IDC the Innovation Award. Our SmartFlow product has been awarded for the best innovation across categories and across various awards, Innovation and Tech Award, so on and so forth. And our brand as well as customer service has been acknowledged by multiple industry bodies. This is, not that we want to tom-tom about this. This is to again reinforce the fact that the trust that our customers have imposed on us is getting recognized by various industry bodies as well. Do visit our SmartFlow customer or experience zone. I just want to leave you with the thought, I think, to summarize, to say that start, core things that I want you to remember in your mind is the digital transformation journey is not a sprint. First thing, I think you should very clearly keep that in your mind. Start with answering those 3 questions. Am I ready for digital transformation? Am I prepared for business disruptions? Am I having a setup which can enable digital transformation? Once you say that you are in that mind frame to do that, then you start small, identify your business requirements, some pointers that we said. If you're in financial services, look at customer onboarding, so on and so forth. Start with one process that you want to go ahead on the digitization journey. Once you've identified that process, go on to evaluate what solutions are there. You can lean on us or you could explore in the market to find the best solution which is there. And then start and first, transform that particular process. Once you have transformed that process, got the results, then jump into the second one. There is always this tendency to start doing multiple things together at one go. Try and resist that as you're going through the digital transformation. The reason is, this question keeps coming in to say that what is the bottleneck for MSMEs to go on that digital transformation route? I think if there are 2 bottlenecks in my mind. Is first, that mindset change. To say I need to do this. And the second is start slow. Normally people end up, picking up the wrong decision in either of those. They don't start with a mindset and hence, they end up actually, it's a starting point failure. If your mind is not, tuned towards digital transformation, anything that you pick up, you're trying to always compare to say, yaar, pehle to aaram se ho raha tha. Ye tumne digital bol ke pura complicate kar diya hai life. Because your mindset is still in the older era, right? And if you start doing 5 things together, you will not have the bandwidth to make all of them a success. So normally we have found these 2 reasons as the core, I would say, starting point reasons for MSMEs to not get it right, and also, fear to say that, hey, how do I embark on this journey? So answer these questions, start simple, start small. I think the journey is going to be extremely rewarding for you, you know, across those three parameters of either creating new revenue streams for you, or, you know, improving your profitability, or getting you more insights and integrated operations. It will surely help you scale and do big, and we would be extremely thrilled if every one of you, I really, you all represent various businesses. Like Chandrakant sir said, I would be very happy in 3 years down the line if each of you grow 10x. And you have done big in your respective spheres, and we would have played, we or any other operator would have played that role of an enabler in your business doing big. With that, you know, I would like to thank you for having a very patient hearing of this session. Thanks a ton to all.
Session. And now, without taking much of your time, I would like to invite our next dignitary, Dr. Suresh Shan, Head Innovation and Future Technologies, Business Information Technology Solutions, Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services Limited, for keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a round of applause for him?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks for this opportunity with you all today. SME Chambers of India, Tata Teleservices, and Zoom. Why I'm here? No, that's a question, because the introduction was more towards a company, but I represent Chairman CSI Computer Society of India, and my research for more than a decade is on occupations in India, especially SMEs, like what we do and what we expect. So why SMEs, why technology, why similar things required part of it? SMEs, with COVID or without COVID, it's expected to boom and create as much as the backbone of India. That's where the SMEs plays a major role in that. And my research, I continuously keep on telling even finance companies, don't look for them for finance. They don't want finance. They are not looking for money or advice. They look for something called a joint venture in terms of earn to pay model. Make them to earn so that they can pay for us. That's a slogan where finance companies should use with the SMEs, MSMEs. That's a strategy where they are going to follow, at least post-COVID, where empower the SMEs, means earn to make them to earn so that they can pay for us. They can try to create a different world of nature in terms of technology. And SMEs, if you see in terms of the technology expected, since that occupations in India is more to do with kind of expectation set, which is not just a business, it's more of relations. In India, if you want to do e-business, you should use less of electronics, more of emotions. If you are trying to convert emotions, part of the technology, that's where the SMEs are success. SMEs are able to take a long term on that. Especially you can bring out the value systems where SMEs are very strong, or on the products and the solutions and the services. They look for a platform as technology which will take them from their products towards the kind of engagement which they are looking part of the solutions which is expected part of it. So specifically if you see from cloud computing, where we say the technologies whichever is so far demonstrated found was more towards a private cloud or a public cloud, or you can see specific in terms of an hybrid cloud. But if you see during COVID, it was a new terminology found, especially in the financial industry, is community cloud, which is nothing but SMEs will participate there. They will select their expectations in terms of technology, even the finance companies, even the kind of expectations. That's what the earn to pay model was very, very successful in community cloud. So community cloud is nothing but a cloud formed by the startups, where they can set the requirements and demands part of it, where the base like Tata Teleservices will play a role in terms of accumulating those expectations, set part of it. It will create as much as to use money, efforts and time, defined part of it. So SME should not worry much about the technology, worry much about the security, worry much about what they are trying to use it, which is coming part of community cloud, which has enabled, and down south like Kerala, Andhra, Tamil Nadu kind of states already deployed and trying to create as much as on that, where the finance companies has to come down to the kind of expectations set part of SMEs. So which is a great revolution again post-COVID, which will create enough in terms of expectations set part of it. And again, if you see from the SME point of view, they are all spread. So even within Mumbai, if you see major areas in terms of the technology used or the connectivity, electricity and resource availability. If you see the kind of factories which is outskirts of Mumbai, where they are trying to use and connect and trying to get enable, which they try to use as much as part of the technology. That's where the major role was formed, part of the Tata Tele Services and Zoom, where jointly can bring out to reach out, ensuring the businesses which empowers connectivity, again resource availability and electricity, which can be made part of it, and creating a high availability of business which scales you part of it. And again, if you see from the startup angle, startups, if you see a lot more which is now coming out part of the solution. But post-COVID, now we are expecting a lot in terms of small SMEs, especially they are trying to use the product part of the financial services. If you see, for example, astrological message, where people thought astrological message can be one of just a belief, or how we can convert that behavior into a business and trying to empower that part of the benefits. So if you see now, astrological messages or print part of the kind of expectation receipts set for the customers like transporters and the people who believe in the receipt concept in terms of astrological message. So being an Kanya star, you will get your money back. It looks very simple, part of a solution which comes part of it. This was innovated by a startup, and this is used highly by the financial people for the receipts, which connects them with the customer. Again, I'm using a word, e-business, less to do with electronics, more to do with the emotions, which gets an engagement with the kind of expectations set part of it. Again, if you see from the artificial intelligence, let us try to use the localized information part of the data, which gives more comfort in terms of how to get engaged with the customers for a long term. If you see the WhatsApp group, today you can see majority of the startups are having a WhatsApp group. Even we can go to the level of Kandivali WhatsApp group, Borivali WhatsApp group. That's the way people have created, and they are trying to use it. You can see similar informations which can be connected part of it, trying to use the kind of collaboration tools. We try to use omni-channels, which will enable us to see the multiple teams. A person from Kandivali who is using a startup, similar product, similar things. Somebody wants in Nerul, they are able to connect part of it. They are able to transform part of it, which was not so easy earlier. Now the platforms are set and people are trying to use it. So it starts in now already more in terms of the industries like the healthcare, medical especially. Now it is moved more into the kind of luxury things also, where people would want to take something else, could be eatable, could be more in terms of a product for an house interior. Even they use something to do with jute bags, something more eco-friendly, planting. All those things now they are coming part of technology, which can be mapped, and you can select. You can sit anywhere in Mumbai trying to connect to the group and trying to explore as much. And as people mentioned, women power now, they can try to create such platforms where they can try to connect, so that they can try to use the day-to-day operations part of an WhatsApp, which can engage them to try to do that. And again, if you say specific in terms of WhatsApp, we have created enough in terms of expectation set part of it, where again Computer Society of India has made more in terms of engaging people in terms of knowledge programs, creating the value systems of SLAs. If you see, majority of the SMEs struggle a lot in terms of SLAs. Even to take a loan, they say like, no, we know that message, but we are not sure about how to put it part of a digital transformation, how to make it similar information, which is more projectable and presentable. Again, how to make it more clear on that. So similar things, again, it comes part of the technology, which is available part of the solutions. And by creating a platform using Tata Tele Services, where we can get engaged with multiple expectations set part of it. And like rightly they said, it's a one-stop shop. Like, no, you no need to get much things around, and small things which matters a lot, which try to build you to connect and trying to explore more in terms of the kind of knowing things and trying to build part of it. Again, if you see specific in terms of localization, that's where the startups are very strong, because they are slightly, I can put it, it's a pride of ego of a startup to say like, I don't want to give up my product, and I don't want to give up my branding and my solution. So multi-branding, multilingual, multi-specific, the things which is part of it, which can be again used part of the technology, trying to use it. And I don't know how many people know InfoSec kind of technology platforms will allow you to create a multi-fascinating brands which you can make part of the technology. So using the InfoSec kind of portal, you can go, you can create your brand of your company with a way of top brands which is available part of it. So small things, but if you put together trying to bring out your business demands, business requirements, it will put you on a platform where you are very strong. You are trying to connect and trying to enable similar things part of it. Again, SME Chambers has created enough in terms of the platforms where you people can bring out the kind of digital solutions, where let us think more in terms of refocusing on the kind of digital efforts which is required more in terms of the kind of changing customer environments. That's where if you see majority people missed out. Being in corporate and trying to use part of an SME, they leave that concept of changing customer expectations, which was not part of it, which has made enough in terms of empowering similar solutions part of it. So again, I will try to bring out as much as why now it is required. So far, corporate digital was mostly dominated, where majority of the corporates also focusing more on the corporate digital, satisfying the internal and the stakeholders. Now during COVID, it was few like in terms of a boom has started more towards creating that customer digital, which has replaced the corporate digital, where every individual customer is treated as corporate. And if you see from the SME point of view, this is what a larger focus, where we have already focused more in terms of how to create a customer to be corporate and trying to revolve the solutions and services part of it. Why I'm mentioning that every small aspect of a behavior in terms of believing part of our expected set of rules and regulations part of an SME model, which was enabled and empowered using these technology solutions, which is empowering us to connect more focus to that. Be it cloud, you have something called community cloud for SME, and artificial intelligence, it's very specific of a new revised data. Don't try to use something else which is not relevant to your industry. Try to create a new data, artificial intelligence, which will build enough in terms of taking you towards that particular customer. Again, financial services has thought a lot more, bringing blockchain model of creating that as much enough information, which good olden days generally to take a loan, it takes 15 days to 3 months, or sometimes it's 6 months. Now they have made it like do din mein badle din. Within 2 days, you will get your life, you will get your disbursements on your table. That's where the real blockchain technology has empowered. Even if you see major Mumbai-based operations with an SME, a commitment was within 2 days, you will get your account at the disbursement amount. That's where the strategy works out faster. And blockchain will even create you a particular platform where you can select the banks. You can select the NBFCs, you can select the cooperative banks. So it has enormous potential where it will empower you to select that. You can try to bring out your consistent expectation set part of financial requirements, which will allow you to focus more on the technology and the technology which suits your expectations part of the business. And the final one, if you see in terms of the technology, whatever it's coming it out, try to utilize for not just creating a business, even acquisition of customers, and trying to utilize as much as on the internal behaviors part of it. So when we are talking more about a startups majority issue was not just cost, it's more to do with quality people or experts or the skill sets which is required. That's where the SMEs focus a lot more in terms of trying to get those things timely to execute their business. So today, if you can see somebody who creates a jute bag, part of our Mumbai, where a person sitting at Kandivali, still they can expose that to the markets which is more flexible for that and trying to utilize it. Even the raw materials, if you want to take it, earlier we have to know physically travel to Lamington Road or getting into city where people try to, I have seen people carrying big bags coming from train, everything. So now these startups who are even middle layer or less than middle layer, they are trying to get sitting at their place the kind of raw materials which is served within Bombay. Even the whatever teleservices in terms of communicating and collaborating to use similar things as made part of the portal, which is available part of a technology. So you can buy the raw materials, you can create the best price on that, you can even create competition within that, you can see more quality also part of it, because these are the people who are running similar business from 1902, like even you want to buy a rope, just to create some specific in terms of empowering the business. Today, everything is available part of technology. Every SME can proudly say, like within Mumbai, I can connect, I can collaborate within 2 days, I can get my systems up with the kind of technology expect part of it. So maximum the technology which is available, try to explore it. And within Mumbai, we can proudly say enough in terms of startups has given enough opportunities. Even government has now come out with the kind of expectation set for startups in trying to guide them the kind of expectation set part of it. In some cases, it's like on the regulations. People still say plastic bag is banned. So suppose somebody wants to procure it from outside trying to sell it in Mumbai, it's an alert available part of a system. Please don't buy plastic bags. It's not available part of Mumbai. I'm just getting into the product extension. Even being a startup, if you are not aware of it, it gives the local regulations, local alerts, local what expected and which area to be taken it, which area not to be taken it. So this is not just a data, it's more of new information which will boom you, take to the next level, and the kind of technology available part of Tata Tele with one-stop shop and Zoom. Again, Zoom connects enough people on that, where we can see, like even during COVID, good olden days only people used to collaborate with abroad, especially US, UK, where we had a telepresence. Now today, within the family, people are able to connect to their family members. Even if a girl child is staying somewhere else separate, they can be connected through the technology and trying to utilize it. So the platform is available. Platform gives you more timely alert, and you can do a monetary maintenance business which can be hourly basis also. So use the technology, used to try to bring it out as much as which enables to take it up. So keeping that in mind, I will put it part of connecting this to Mahabharat, where it was asked to Dharma to say, tell me who is the happiest person. So he said three things which people should take it up endlessly, where he said very clearly to state a person who don't have debts. That means you should not borrow, not only money, anything else. Person who grows his own food. Today we don't know even what food we have it. Third, you should not get out of your origin for survival. These three things not possible today because people born with the loan. So every kid is having some loan on their name. Again, we don't know what food we have it, and everybody has transformed or migrated for their survival for that. But they said still this can be matched by having quality education. Again, quality education, we went into the research to found, okay, that can be one of the knowledge or wisdom, but how to explore it? He said people like entrepreneurs and the kind of people who work on SMEs, MSMEs can deploy it because they know their world, they create their world, they live in their world. So again, I'm telling you, people are blessed something, at least out of 3, 2 can be done part of it. So to something 2000 years before somebody said, but SMEs still stick to that and they create and they live in their world. Again, I'm wishing you all to get that best in terms of utilizing the technology and have a safe journey and try to empower in terms of business. Again, customer acquisitions and new models, and there are platforms available which will empower you to reach and create it. So reach and speed is going to be the new technology mantra, which try to use it. Such platforms will create that reach. Such platforms will create you the speedy in terms of service solutions. That's what we are all looking for. And thanks for all valuable time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Mr. Swanandesh Khare, Manager Sales, Zoom Video Communications, for presentation. Can I please have you on stage, sir? Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. First and foremost, I'm from Zoom and I'm standing here in real, not in a virtual world, not in my Zoom attire. I don't have a shorts, I'm wearing a trouser for a change. So actually it's really good to connect all of you in physical world. It is really a pleasure for me to stand here and present you on behalf of Zoom. So I think we are in the era of change. I think last 2 years has taught us a lot of new things, right? Where we have been using a lot of new technologies which none of us has ever thought that we'll be using. I don't think so I ever thought that my kid might be learning sitting in the home, looking at a small screen and a teacher who is sitting in this one premise, looking at around 30, 40 kids, out of which most of the kids will switch off their videos and start playing cricket in the back end. I never imagined that in my past life. Right? But we have all gone through that. We have all seen that change, and we have seen that we are coming out of that era and we are in the world of change. Right? We have seen that there is a huge resignation era what we have seen. I don't think so we have seen it ever. Rather, I'm also part of that. I was with one of the MNC for last almost 12 years. I've resigned that place and joined Zoom about a year and a half back, right? And riding the way of the virtual world. But why? When Gartner and a couple of researchers industries did their studies, they found that most of the people are looking out for that flexibility. Most of the people were looking out for the technology adoption. Most of the people were looking at where I can be allowed to work at my pace, at my space, right? That was one of the primary reasons why people have jumped in from most of the places to the other places, right? Keeping all of that in mind, what does it have next in 12 months' time? I don't think so. I'm talking something new. I think we all have experienced that in the last 2 years, right? We have seen that everything moving to the virtual. We never expected that I will consult a doctor sitting at my home, asking him the questions that, okay, I'm having this kind of a situation and what should I do, right? I think that has made possible here. I don't think so ever anyone has thought that some of the fitness industries will move from their gyms, where there was a huge instructors who are trying to train you, from to a virtual world where they are trying to sit in front of the screen and trying to teach you, right? But these are the changes which we have seen. And trust me, these are the changes which are going to remain moving forward. And that's where we are looking at in the world, where we are talking of something as an hybrid. I know it's again a jargon. What do you mean by a hybrid, right? It is nothing but a mixture of what I was doing yesterday and what I'm trying to do today. Yeah, what I was doing yesterday and what I'm trying to do today. There is not much of a change into that. But as a SME, how does it matter to me? I was doing my business yesterday, I'm doing it today, and I'll be doing it tomorrow. This change is inherent and this change is going to remain. You are there in most of these fields, rather you are in media, you are in finance, either you are in healthcare, you are in education. In most of the industries, this change is invariant, right? And that has happened. It's not going to change any which ways. And to keep the constant on that, we need to ensure that we adopt the changes and we ensure that we match with the speed and feed of this. So at Zoom, what we do, right? What is so important into that? We try to create a platform for you which helps you to ensure that you have a single platform for all your needs. Whether it comes to a video communication, whether it comes to a phone, whether it comes to a Zoom room, whether it comes to a webinar or whether it comes to an event, right? We are trying to create a robust solutions around all of that to make sure that we deliver, our slogan itself says that we deliver happiness, right? So that is what we are all about. We ensure seamless performance across all. Assume that I have a requirement and I'm buying some phones from somewhere. Again, I'm buying from meetings from somewhere. I'm buying an event tool from somewhere. Trust me, collaboration eventually is all about the experience. And trust me, we are all here, sitting here and listening to Zoom because of that experience. Zoom is one company who has given this experience seamlessly for the last few years to all of you, and at a very, very low bandwidth level. How many solutions have you seen that works beautifully well when everyone turns on their videos and still it works beautifully on a 4G? A host is sitting on a 4G, the entire world might be sitting on a Wi-Fi. Assume everyone switch on their video, 99% of the solutions do fail. That's the reality of the life. Trust me, you can check Zoom on the 4G network. You are a host. I can assure you, we will work seamlessly, beautifully. We have been tested with that and we have a benchmark amongst that. Great. So what do we do eventually, right? What at Zoom we do? We try to create a team productivity for you. We try to create an experience for you. And the best part for us is we are trying to connect the talent anywhere across. Today, most of the ITS companies, or maybe most of our own company, we have so many people today who are operating out of class B, C cities. They are not operating out of any of the metros. And we have sales motion running seamlessly across all of this. We are not changing any of the things out of it. How do we manage that? Because of our experience, because of our tool, and because of the software efforts what we have taken in the past, right? There are a few misconceptions about Zoom also, which I will try and clarify towards the end of my presentation also, right? So during this, what we do, we have ensured that you all are sitting together the way we are sitting in together. We are ensuring that we are talking to each other the way we were talking yesterday. Some of us has attended the family weddings. Some of us have attended the family events out of it. Some of us have attended school out of it. We have ensured that we are creating that seamless experience on Zoom, right? With all of this, you will try to ask me, what is that one thing you are trying to tell me that what we have not experienced so far from the Zoom? Trust me, there are a lot of things which we have not heard from Zoom yet, right? We have not heard that what exactly Zoom does, and what exactly we are trying to create out of it. For a business, we are trying to create to ensure that we have a maximum reach to our customers, at the same time maintaining a low cost, at the same time having a complete SaaS platform. We are not coming to you asking you for any kind of a capex investment. We are not coming here and asking you for any kind of a lock-in. And if you go to any of the collaboration industry, go across and please check, every other company will come back to you and say that I need a commitment for at least 3 years. I need a commitment for 5 years. Eric Yuan, our CEO, on day 0 has announced that we will not go ahead with any commitments, right? If you want to buy monthly, you can buy monthly. If you want to buy yearly, you can buy yearly. So we are offering you those flexibilities to ensure that you have a better reach and connectivity to your customer, and to ensure that you sell to your customers appropriately. At the same time, we are trying to ensure that we are trying to serve your customers better. Just trying to give an example here. We have a customer who came back to us and said that he was in the automobile manufacturing. I'm not allowed to take the name of the customer, so I'll try to avoid it. He was in the automobile customer, right? He reached out to us saying that, we are selling these electrical vehicles, but we want to ensure that when it goes to my customer site, how do we serve it, right? How do we service it? Every time I cannot send all my technical engineers who are sitting in the back end in my service stations out onto the field to ensure that I'm serving all of my customer needs. We did bend back, we did to a drawing board, we tried to understand his requirement, and we came up with a solution. Zoom has tied up with a lot of companies in the back end. So we have tied up with a company called a Realware. Those are nothing but the glasses. The way I'm wearing the glasses, there are the glasses which they wear. And that is completely back-end integrated with the Zoom. So moment a guy, a L1 engineer, a basic technician, goes onto the site to see what kind of a technical problem that vehicle has, he just look at that problem, wear those glasses. At the back end, the call is initiated from his mobile 4G, it is connected. It is not connected to a Wi-Fi in the back end. And a L3 engineer, who is an expert in the back end, starts looking at the problem and starts guiding him to where exactly he needs to carry out the correction. Correct? And that's the beauty of it. Because at the same time, when you are L3 engineer who is there in the back end, who is supposed to be the so-called the brain, he is able to attain 30 such customers in a day in spite of 3 customers if he starts moving out physically. That brings a lot of happiness to your own customers. We are trying to create, we have discussed a lot about on WhatsApp. How many of us have heard during some Bollywood cases have come under the scanner because of the WhatsApp messages getting exchanges, right? And we say that they are secured, they are encrypted. WhatsApp asks us for agreement of the encryption and we sign it. Trust me, with this, on the corporate world is always a challenge. When I'm running a corporate and I want to ensure that all of my employees, their chat goes in a secured format, I decide what kind of a file structure they share with each other. I decide that how to deploy this chat across and give what privileges to whom and whom not. Because it's a corporate messaging going across. It can create an image, it can damage an image, right? So you need to ensure that your chat across the board is real terms encrypted and is controlled in the today's world. We, along with our meeting solutions, always you will see there is a chat solution in the bottom. And that chat solution is not only restricted for your organization. For example, I'm a Zoom employee. I have a Zoom chat deployed on my SSO. When I move to open my Zoom app, I see a chat. And all my Zoom employees are already part of that chat. But Narendra is from D10, right? He is from a different organization. He is not from my chat window. Can I just straight away, the way I do a WhatsApp, I can just say hi to him and start chatting with him. Just store the contact and start doing it. Can I do that? It is completely a breach of privacy for him and as well as for me. So for that, I just need to send a request to him and he just need to accept that request as an external organization, and my IT also will come to know that I'm going to chat with Narendra, right? So what the privilege I'm going to get allowed on that, that will be restricted by my IT and by my security force, not like a WhatsApp. So is a WhatsApp or any other medium to chat, I'm not saying WhatsApp, but any other medium to chat without a control from a corporate communication point of view can be a challenge? My answer to it is yes. And I have seen that and we all have seen that, right? But this thing can help you to ensure that you have all of our chats. Zoom meetings, I think, I don't need to talk much on this, right? Because we all have experienced it, we all are doing it in our day-to-day life, and we are ensuring that what we are experiencing is what we are getting out of it, right? But giving all of that, we have a platform which is offering this meeting, and not only the platform, we ensure that we offer to your needs. We are not saying that one size fits all, right? We are ensuring that we are creating a special image or special licensing for edutechs or for education societies or for the NGOs. And we have done that at a very, very minimal cost. Because for us, we also believe that the education still remains a priority and it will remain a priority for our organization. So we ensure that we offer them at a very, very minimal cost to the market. Likewise, we have a solution for the SMEs. We have a solution for mid-sized enterprises, and then we have enterprise licenses. So we do have those buckets, we do have those categories. What is the difference between what I do every day and why, if I buy this, what is the difference? Okay, the first and foremost, the difference what you'll see is that the 40 minutes chat window what you all have downloaded on your phone and you are doing it with everyone around, the first and foremost difference is 40 minutes login moves away, right? At the 40th minute, my call doesn't get auto drop and I don't have to reinitiate the call. For example, you're having a peaceful business discussion with someone and at the 40th minute, your call dropped and you have to reinitiate that. You have to again create that steam, bring it up to the topic and then go it to the next level, right? Don't do that. And the cost for that is very minimal. It is not way too high, correct? However, given all of that, while I'm selling the licenses, our organizations have clearly announced worldwide the 40 minutes free is going to remain forever. We are not going to pull it back. Whether it is pandemic, whether it is not pandemic, whether we might see again a wave near future, we are not going to pull back that offering. That 40 minutes is given to us and that is free for the lifetime. There is not going to be any change in that. But while we are doing that, do I want to record some meetings? Do I want to keep a record of that? Can I do that with that 40 minutes on the cloud? The answer is no. For that, do I need to move to the licensing? The answer is yes. Do I need to have a security onboarded with that? Do I want to ensure that my meetings are actually end-to-end encrypted in 40 minutes? The answer is no. In the licensing mode, it is my responsibility, it is my duty to ensure that all your meetings are end-to-end encrypted. That is a basic difference which we have not realized as a part of our solution. Why Zoom? Why Zoom meetings? I think we are the most simple. I think we are the most GUI-friendly application. We are the most lightweight application. We are the most easy to use application. And I think so we are the one which people have trusted in last 2 years and ensure that there is no issues ever have been faced by that. Some of the top meeting features which in the licensing mode you do get activated, right? You have a HD video and audio, you have an end-to-end encryption, which is a main feature. In 40 minutes, you don't get that feature at all. You have 49 people you can view at the same time on your laptop. In 40 minutes, you don't see that, you see 25. So those are small differences, but those can make a large impact to you when it comes to your business. Fair? What is there for SMB as in top meeting features, right? It is easy to use. First and foremost, I don't think so anyone needs a training to use a Zoom. We have enough Zoom meetings have been done in last 2 years. So we are almost everybody, I think my kid can do it easily, right? So it is that user friendly, right? So you have in-meeting security control, who can join, who cannot join, who should be in the room, who should not be in the room, who is an external participant who can come in, who should not be coming in, all that you can do it. You can do a single wind broadcasting of your messages, right? You can do a recording, also you can do a transcripts in the various language. Unfortunately, we are still not there into the Indian languages, but we are going to be there very soon. We are there, I think, in about 27 odd languages across the world, but we are yet to come in for the India yet. It's a seamless experience what you get on Zoom, or whether you are on mobile, whether you are on iPad, whether you are on Android pad, or whether you are sitting on the laptop or a machine, or you're setting it on a beautiful endpoint which is there, you can see in the back end, right? So you get a seamless experience across the board when you're using a Zoom meeting on that. I'll just, for the IT purpose, when I buy a Zoom license, assume that I'm a SME, I'm starting with maybe a 20 license to begin with. I get a single console, a dashboard of that in IT where I can see that who is doing what number of meetings, with whom he is doing it, what the consumption level, how many recordings have been done, what is the recording storage which is there in the back end. Everything is seamlessly visible for a single login. He gets a complete view of a dashboard. Fair? Some of the business benefits, I think we discussed all of that, maybe more than enough. I don't want to repeat them again and again and again to try to ensure that we rather create a hype out of that, but the reality of the fact remains still there, that is a seamless experience across the board. Coming now, this is a very critical point, right, where we all are standing. I'm standing here for the first time almost after 2 years for the presentation in person to such a huge audience. Similarly, we all are eager to go back to our offices. It's enough of Zoom, it's enough of being in shorts and t-shirts, that's all. We want to go back to our offices. How do we create that experience as well in the back end? Does Zoom has a story around that? The answer is yes. Most of us haven't heard about it yet. So, in the Zoom unified platform, we have everything coming in together, right? We have our phones, we have Zoom rooms, which I'll be touching it upon. We have Zoom meetings, we have Zoom events, we have Zoom webinars. We have all the products under one single umbrella, under one single enforcement. Coming to the going back to the office, how does this entire platform of rolling, which I have said, coming to the reality? In old time of office, everyone used to go to the office, sit in one conference room without realizing whether conference room is set for 10 and we are crowded with 15 people, or whether conference room is set for 5 and we are crowding it with 7 people. But now, moving forward, I think all of us has gone little conscious on that. We really want to know that who is there in the room, what is he doing, can I create that experience across, right? To do that, we are creating a Zoom room experience. With that, you will have a definite room with the set number of people, with a digital signage out of the room, where you know that whether this room is occupied, blocked by whom, who was there before, who is going to be there after me. Fair? And trust me, this is again nothing but a piece of a software which can run either on your iPad, on your mobile, on your PC, on your laptop, getting connected by a USB or a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth to a beautiful display which you have in your office right now, whether it is from D10 or whether it's from other resources. However, we work very, very closely with D10, who is a manufacturer of this display and the cameras, to ensure that you get this seamless experience across the board, right? This piece of software, once you get into, you can go and join any of these competitor meetings at one single click. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to do anything extra. You can join any of this meeting at one single click, right? The Zoom Room software sits on, again I'm saying, on your iPad, on your Google devices, on your phones, on your PCs, and this device controls the entire meeting experience. But to complete this meeting experience, we also need to have some big screen in the back end. We need to have those cameras in the back end, which can cover the 15, 20 people sitting around me, and to ensure that we deliver that seamless experience across. For that, we have partners like D10, right, with whom we are working very, very closely to bring that experience to all of you. With that, I would just like to invite Naren from D10, who is going to give us a quick introduction on what is D10 and what we are doing together for this innovation.
Hello. Thank you, Swanandesh. A very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Narendra Kumar Banoria and I am the country manager at D10. So you would be thinking, ye wild card entry kisko mil gayi? Right? So let me ask you one question. I give you a SIM card. Will you be able to call someone?
Without a phone.
Without a phone, obviously. Nahi kar sakte, right? WhatsApp, we are talking about WhatsApp, right? You have WhatsApp. Can you text someone without a phone again? So I'm talking about hardware right now. So ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about services from Tata Teleservices. We have been talking about Zoom. Now D10 is over here to provide you the hardware. So D10 is basically a US based company and we are the strategic hardware partners for Zoom. So what do you see in this room basically? When we talk about video conferencing, which all features or which all products do come into your mind? Cameras, microphones, speakers, right? A display,
Cables,
HDMI cables, whiteboarding. We used to write on the whiteboard, then take a snapshot of that, right? Zamana chala gaya. Yaar, mic sahi karo thoda. Zamana chala gaya. Kyun chala gaya? Because we need something which is neat, clean, and there are no wires on the table, right? So that's what D10 is all about. So D10 means all-in-one device which has all the features like your cameras, speakers, web microphones, a display, content sharing wirelessly, touch with whiteboarding, annotation, works on Ethernet or Wi-Fi, digital signage. Kuch bach gaya kya? Okay, so that's what D10 is all about. So let me play a small video so that you have a better understanding what we are talking about.
Welcome to the new future with D10 and Zoom, where innovation powers your meeting experience. D10 makes it easy to return to the office with award-winning solutions for every workspace. Large conference rooms, huddle spaces, in-office phone booths, and home offices. D10 is the perfect solution for the hybrid work environment with true all-in-one devices. Simplify your meeting spaces and replace the need for external components and messy cables. D10 devices set up in minutes. Just plug it in and it just works. Safely return to the office with D10 and Zoom. Transform existing displays into a touch experience with D10 Go and D10 Mate. Use D10 as your virtual receptionist to greet visitors. Start and manage meetings hands-free from your mobile device or voice commands. Leverage digital signage to share information throughout the office. D10's innovative technology drives powerful collaboration. Experience crystal clear audio and lifelike video. Increase participation and engagement. Easily share content. Illustrate your ideas using whiteboarding. And mark up documents and presentations in real time. Join a Microsoft Teams meeting directly from your D10 device. Upgrade to true all-in-one devices for a modern, simplified meeting experience. D10 and Zoom, innovating the new future together.
So I hope now you have a better understanding what we are talking, right? So as I mentioned, we are the strategic hardware partners for Zoom. So this journey began in 2015 and in 2017 we got collaborated with Zoom, and our engineering departments from both the organizations work together to bring the best of the class in terms of audio and video to provide a seamless hardware to the customer so that they can have the video calls in a very efficient way. Yesterday I was talking to Jasin and she told me, Narendra, why don't you come a day before, because you have to do the setup and everything, right? So I said, I will just take 5 minutes, don't worry. So we just took 5 minutes and we just unboxed the device with just one power cable with Wi-Fi, and all the devices are running over here. So that's the beauty of the product. Now another problem that what we face. Okay, so I'll get back to you. I'll get back on that part later on. So this slide was a little different when Swanande showed you. So D10 has these devices for all kind of rooms. So when you enter into your office, starting from your virtual receptionist, your workspace model, which you will see a live demo today. Then you have open office, you have cabins. In the hybrid working model, people are working from home as well, right? So we have these all-in-one devices which can be used at home also. So in one single slide, I can present all the D10 devices to you. All the D10 products have been placed at the back side. I would request all of you to come over there, understand and have a better understanding of Zoom rooms so that you can use the same. Now, a problem which comes to the IT team is how to manage these devices, right? In the video conferencing rooms, we could see like there are many OEMs who are coming into this market today with the video bars. I don't want to name them, but everybody is coming into this space. I would say like top of the MNC companies who have been the big in their own domain, like maybe in the audio side, like Biamp if you have heard, Bose, even they are coming with these video conferencing devices. Now you would have video cameras, microphones, speakers from one or two, then you have a display from some other OEM. If you want to share content, you would have some like Barco kind of device, click share, that is from some other OEM, right? Now if there is an issue, who is going to find out? The IT team. सब लोग जाके चढ़ जाएगा, यार वो चल नहीं रहा, देखना क्या हुआ, right? IT वाला बेचारा जा रहा है, ढूंढ रहा है, अरे यार ये नहीं चल रहा, मैं इस OEM को फोन करता हूँ, इसको करता हूँ. So what we have done is, we have helped you to get out of that by D10 Orbit. So on this Orbit portal, the IT admin guy can have almost 200 D10 devices registered, and they can manage these D10 devices centrally. So basically for all those features we have been discussing right now, you don't have to go to any room physically. You can just monitor the devices centrally and understand if there is an issue. If there is any issue, D10 team is going to address it within 24 hours and do the troubleshooting of the products. That's one part. If there is any fault in the device, we are going to replace the unit. So that's what D10 is all about. Now, why should you trust a brand? We are a startup, right? We are a startup. It's been almost 5 years now. But these are few of the companies which I've just put up into this slide who are using D10 devices in almost 500 plus rooms globally. Okay? Education. That's what we have been hearing right now. So these are few of our top of the universities in US who are using D10 devices. So that's what D10 is all about, guys. I would request all of you to come to our booth to have a better understanding so that we can help you to have the seamless video conferencing experience with the Zoom rooms and have the better experience. That's all. Thank you very much.
That's all, I think. Thank you very much for your patient listening. We are going to be around here in the room. We have set up an experience center in the back end. Please do visit that place where you can actually have a feel of Zoom rooms and the controls and the D10 devices over there, where you can, or feel free to contact any one of us for if you have any kind of questions in your mind. Okay? Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So friends, do big. Are you enjoying dreams that, in dream you become a Prime Minister of India? Sometimes or every day? Good. Are you dreaming about your entrepreneurial journey, a future journey? Are you thinking that you want to become a Tata, like a Tata, or on the path of Tata's journey? So this is a unique concept in India now. अगर आप बिजनेसमैन बनना चाहते हो, सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस बनना चाहते हो, तो टाटा, बिरला, अंबानी जैसा बनना चाहिए. And particularly when we talk with any association, government agency, bankers, or anyone, I suggest all the entrepreneurs that think big, do big, then you will become a big. So friends, this is a message to all entrepreneurs, not only you, but it is a message to all entrepreneurs, those are enjoying business activity, those are putting efforts for the business growth, providing large employment, giving value services to nation's development, and of course accomplishing the target growth given by the government. Politician कोई जॉब एम्प्लॉयमेंट या जॉब जनरेशन नहीं करते, आप ही लोग करते हो. पॉलिटिशियंस एक प्लान करते हैं, पॉलिसी बनाते हैं. पॉलिसी बनाते समय वो ध्यान देखते हैं कि आप में कैसे एम्पावरमेंट बने, उसका ध्यान जरूरी है. टाटा ग्रुप ने भी ऐसे कभी सोचा होगा कि मैं ऐसा कोई बिजनेस सॉल्यूशंस लाओ वेयर entrepreneurs from my country will use this concept, skill and platform where you can enhance your business activity, quality services and of course sustainable, profitable business growth. Today we are going to discuss on particularly accelerated growth with our digital solutions. डिजिटल सॉल्यूशंस तो आपने देखे, बहुत देखे होंगे. जूम का प्रेजेंटेशन देखा, कपिल जी का प्रेजेंटेशन देखा, हमारे महिंद्रा फाइनेंस है, उन्होंने भी अच्छा टॉक दिया जो विच इज वेरी बेनिफिशियल एंड यूजफुल टू द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. So the point is, how many entrepreneurs have taken advantage of the digital reformation, digital transformation during this pandemic? 95% in India. Because you were doing business from home during the pandemic. You were connecting with all your suppliers, buyers, company, the associates, your business associate through digital platform. अगर digital platform नहीं होता तो हमारे हाल क्या होते? सोचिए. मोबाइल फोन नहीं होता तो हम कहाँ होते? व्हाट्सएप नहीं होता तो हम कहाँ होते? जूम या वेबएक्स टाइप जैसे कोई प्लेटफॉर्म है, अलग अलग है, वो अगर नहीं होते तो क्या होता? So because of this corona, many things have learned by our entrepreneurs, particularly main workforce. कभी हमारे workforce digitalization में जाते नहीं थे, कभी workforce को knowledge नहीं था, लेकिन now everybody started learning. So कोरोना की वजह से एक बहुत बड़ा एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, एक डेवलपमेंट हमारे भीतर हुआ है, प्लस इंडस्ट्री बिजनेस में भी हो गया है. Earlier days, any entrepreneur want to set up business, they want to come to Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Bangalore or a major city. Now you can start your business from your village. Rather, I am putting a lot of efforts for the change the policy for the MSME segment, that you produce your quality products, government should provide a marketing platform, logistic platform, warehousing platform, cold storage platform, and of course global platform where they can reach in an international market. So this is our efforts through SME Chamber of India. So this is our do big services, making them promotion and development. So think about what is the main thoughts, particularly in this platform. So I want to hear from Raj how we can say, the Raj Borulkar, the head solution of engineering enterprise at Tata Tele Business Services. What is your correct message? I am using word correct. In correct, so many things are undisclosed. So what is the correct message to SME entrepreneurs where they can take more efforts, more solutions and acquire advanced technology for a better business growth?
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. So good question, sir. Now we have around 30,000 customers, and any given time 18,000 customers bill it to us. So it means we interact with a lot of customers. Earlier, customers used to talk to us and ask for products. Give me this product and that product. Like after pandemic, what you said, they have started talking about the KPIs. The 3 KPIs what they're talking about. One is the asset light model, digitalization, and third is the asset prevention. Okay. And they are saying that communication is through 3, one is data, voice and collaboration. Okay. In that thing that they are saying that please help me with giving a solutions on 3. Earlier, what he said was work from home or work from anywhere. Okay, what we are talking about now is giving solutions on cloud, hosted platforms, and no asset. Asset light means assets are there, but it's not there in premises. Assets are there in offline. No, no, the off-prem assets they are talking about. So entrepreneur, we are trying to say that please focus on your business. Give us headache of giving you OpEx model. Like Kapil talked about a smart flow. I do not have any telephone at my office, the instrument. I do not have any instrument. Everything there is in cloud. Okay. B is that if we do not, earlier I had around 100 plus servers for giving a data connectivity. Right now I have only 25% of data. All the non-core applications are already there on my cloud. Non-core means communication, it can be a non-core. Core means, like for example, banking, CBS, core banking software is a core. Now, banking software also they are talking about getting it on a cloud. Same thing, what we are trying to tell you that asset light model, come to the asset light model, we will help you out. Don't talk to us on a products, let's talk about the solution. Like I was just talking to someone, he said, I want this product. Then later on I said, what is the problem statement? He said, I want secured VPN with the data, voice, collaboration, and we said, we'll do it for you. So this is what I focus on your core, leave all the telecom and part of IT to us, we will do it as a Tata.
Thank you. Another point I observed that many entrepreneurs, particularly SME sector or even large industries also, they look at quality, they look at the price, and they look at the development in that technology. But somehow I observed that many entrepreneurs are sticking with a lower quality, lower cost, and they are looking for time being product. And therefore they didn't get a more quality services or more productivity, or rather they are not utilizing the advanced technology. So I would like to suggest our entrepreneurs through your talk that how they can focus, because smart business solutions are already available in the market, every domain is there, but particularly quality services along with the competitive cost and beneficial strategy for their promotion. How we can think about it?
Yeah. So I'll take a small example of again we are seeing communication through three things: data, voice, and collaboration. We all communicate through this one. Communication of data is the ideal example, O365 or any email software. Second is voice. You should have communication now from some mobile phones and so on and so forth. Collaboration is collaborative platform like Zoom and all other people. What we are trying to say, when we want to have when you plan for this, okay, talk to people like us, we will give you some communication solution which is assetless, asset light, and we will give you on everything on cloud. How you manage, why you come to us, people like us, because we will give end-to-end security on the same, like you must have seen a smart internet what you have seen is internet, anybody can actually barge in, but we are giving a smart internet because it is a secure internet. So anything regarding communication, whether data, voice or collaboration, there has to be some planned way to do it, and we will ensure that you will do it with OpEx model, and remaining thing you invest your own money CapEx in your core business.
Thank you. Now we know that Tata Tele Business Services and Zoom has strategic partnership to provide quality services to Indian industries, Indian businessmen. So I would like to know from Mr. Khare that during the pandemic, lots of people enjoy this. Now we are coming out of the pandemic, and slowly they have started practical meetings, personal one-to-one meetings, physical meetings. So what is the transformation you are doing in your Zoom system, where people should stick with the Zoom, people should not leave the Zoom, but they can use this platform and they continue to. And additional, let me tell you, yesterday I met one MD of bank. He said, we have saved a lot of money in this during pandemic because traveling, saved time, efforts. So that is the most important advantages during the pandemic. Now, henceforth, how they will enjoy the same services from the Zoom.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. Uh, First and foremost, yes, we are in the transition, right? We are coming out of the pandemic and we are moving towards a hybrid kind of an environment, right? I said that in my presentation also earlier. There is a major thought process change which is happening in everyone's mind. But trust me, there are people who have moved down to class B, class C, class D cities in India, and they are enjoying their home foods and they are enjoying their family lives, and they don't have any plans to come back to the rush of Mumbai, right? So those people do plan to work from there, but we do want to have that talent in our organization to make sure that we become successful in that, right? So to make sure of that, we are trying to create a hybrid environment. We are coming up with a lot of new products. Rather, we do have that products, but we are coming up to the customers now. First and foremost, definitely we are trying to create a Zoom room. So even though you're walking into your office, you still have the same experience coming across. You don't see any difference whether you are attending it from your phone or from the office rooms or from the laptops. We are trying to make sure that it has a seamless experience coming across the board. Also at the same time, we are coming up with a lot of new products which are ensuring that, you know, for example, I have a banking software, right? We have our SDKs through which you can actually integrate a Zoom platform in your banking software to make sure that you reach to your maybe high net worth customers or the key customers, right? And that entire communication happens seamlessly at a click of a button. You don't have to reinitiate the meetings, you don't have to recreate those meetings, you don't have to reschedule those calls, you don't have to go to multiple browsers, no. So Zoom gets embedded in your workflow to make sure that we have a seamless experience going across, right? So as people are coming back to office, but still, I have started enjoying my experience with my bank, right? I have started enjoying them sitting at my either office at my home. I do communicate with my client rep and I ensure that all my business has been taken care. Why do I need to travel to the bank? Can I do that continuing and I can ensure that my productivity enhances beyond that, right? So it's all about that, and I think it's all about the adoption. It's all about, you know, making sure that we create these tools to enhance the productivity for each and everyone.
Thank you. Rather, Zoom has given a lot of platforms to, you know, for engagements also. Virtual engagements, virtual weddings also happened during the pandemic. Is it secured platform?
Absolutely. It's very, very critical to have this platform secured. Rather, I will just go back some time back. There was about 2-3 years back, there was some rumors around Zoom, right? And we have to clarify to people saying that no, these are not true. There was a thought that it's a Chinese company, but it is not. So we are a US-based company. We are listed in NYSE. We don't have any kind of a direct relationship with China at this point in time. I would like to clarify that on the platform. Neither anywhere in the world we are banned. Anywhere in the world we are banned, right? So just to clarify on that thought, and also bringing up to the next level on the communication platform, we ensure that all our calls who are initiated on Zoom are end-to-end encrypted. Rather, we have a encryption which is maybe a 128-bit where we ensure that there are no kind of a loopholes which have been left behind. We ensure that all our calls have been securely kept. We have most of our data centers across the world. We have data centers in India also. We got one in Mumbai, one in Hyderabad. So we ensure that most of the calls in India are routed in India and stored in India. We don't try to move them out of the cloud here from India. So security is a very, very key aspect because, as I said, you know, we integrate along with your core application. For example, if a banking customer is talking to his investor and there is a critical conversation happening on the investment part of it, I'm pretty sure that I'll be very cautious about my security of the call, right? So rather, we got certified by one of the toughest security agency to crack, right, which is Europe. And Zoom got certified in that as well, and we got a best of the class certification in that, right? So it is. I can assure you that it's 100% safe to use. So.
Good. Yeah, just to add on this, platform is very secure, but when you reach, because people are working from home, people are working from anywhere. When we are reaching from A to B, there is a connectivity, and there a lot of phishing happens. Okay, a lot of people can get into phishing, get a credentials of any platform, and get into your collaboration platform and start doing it. So they have a very good future called as a AD, like Active Directory encryption. So platform is secure. But when you reach there through a smart internet, what we call, is securely we are reaching to that particular platform from anywhere, is what we are trying to say. So buying a Zoom from online platform or anyone and buying a Zoom from Tata Tele Services makes a difference. Why? Because we are giving internet also, which is a smart, which is a secured, to reach that platform, because the rest of the things are taken care by platform. But how do I reach? If I reach there and my phishing or some Trojan horse, something come into picture and create a pseudo collaborative platform, then what do I do? There are a lot of, I'll not take example, but I'll just tell you, bombing is a very, very clear example of a bombing bombing is a word for the collaboration platform. It is not coming on that platform. Platform is secure. It comes from the in-between. So that is what Tata offer to you. Go to its smart internet, secure internet, reach to that platform and have your things very secured manner. This is what I want to add.
Friends, all of you can prepare questionnaires, and those questions, the best question, I will give a free membership for 1 year. Those will ask best question for all the speakers, I will give a free membership for 1 year. So be prepared. Okay? So Mr. Khera, when we are sitting in one stalwart from India, one stalwart from the world, what is your observation that during the pandemic, you have received the messages from the SME sector, from the industry, where they are lacking, or particularly where they are face a problem, or where they are struggling to get the quality services?
Thank you. See, SME is the heart of industry in our country, and it is so in the world, because 90% of all the industry is SME. One, the abruptness with which everything stopped actually became a big problem. Skilled labor suddenly vanished. Semi-automatic, automatic became the need of the hour, because most of the processes in our SMEs are manual. Where to purchase the raw material, because we were not used to B2B segments, and where to sell, how to sell, because everyone is not supplying in organized sector. Everyone is not supplying to an OEM or something like that. And most importantly, even if SME wanted to pay to the workforce that they have, the working capital or the money, the most important raw material, was not enough. And how to get money in such time is difficult. The government announced various schemes, banks stepped in, but still 1.5 years was very tough. So challenges, the segment is already having too many challenges, but the abruptness with which everything happened made it very, very difficult. And the digitalization, actually, it was a forced digitalization, I'll say. And what happened first? The first thing started when demonetization happened. And the first thing happened was that we became receptive of using our mobile phones to make payments. We became receptive of receiving payments through our phone, sending links to people that, okay, my money is due, you please pay. I'm not getting into the technical things of it, but what happened? You built a cash flow record, how your money is going out and how you are receiving the money. So a lot of fintech players came in. India is a very smart country, a lot of entrepreneurs are there, a lot of fintechs are there. So government allowed it, and basis, even if you are not having a balance sheet, limited financials, still basis just this cash flow mapping, SMEs can get the credit lines, invoice-based lines, working capital lines, installment loan lines, and which helped actually churn the whole thing. And yes, things are getting back to normal now, because till the time the credit flow does not happen back in the market, even if we have to buy Zoom membership or take solution from Tata, you need money to pay the subscription. They can offer a low-cost solution, but low cost also means you need to pay. Even if you have to semi-automate your process, you need to pay. So for everything, a proper a credit facility at affordable price is required. So Atyati has been into this sector for 15 years, and right from a microfinance loan of 30,000 to a corporate loan of 5 crore rupee, we have integrated with all public sector banks, private sector banks, NBFCs, and we understand the file of a customer, limited information that is available, and tell that this is how you get the loan. The best thing is it is affordable and we don't charge MSME any fee. The lender pays us. We are there in relationship, not like an agent who gets you a loan, but till the time you completely repay it, how to make the payments, how to use QR codes, how to make it digital, how to use cloud, how to do GST filing, everything is there, and we don't charge anything for it, because the important thing is to make it digital, map your cash flows, and with minimum information, bank should be able to give money so you can invest in digitalization.
Okay, thank you. We have Mr. Soumitra Dhankar, who is heading the, he's heading the enterprise division for solution consulting for Adapt Systems India Private Limited. Mr. Dhankar, what is your observation particularly when you define, advanced technology for SME sector in India, and what are the key technologies, disrupting, particularly their services and particularly the impacting on their businesses? What is your observation while, any interacting with any entrepreneurs or SME owner or their main workforce? What are the, lacking, or what are the, misinformation they have, you observed?
Thanks for the question, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. We all know Adobe, right? Adobe for Photoshop, Adobe for PDF. We don't know Adobe for marketing. And that's what I'm going to focus upon. So the question is, in my interactions with SME, where I have seen them lacking, and since morning we heard about how digital has helped SMEs operate better, right? Which is where Mr. Kapil Dev spoke about Tata Communications, or we spoke about Zoom. Now, having established digital operations, the next biggest question or the next biggest lacuna that I have seen is, how do I market digitally? Right? How do I reach out to my customers in a digital only world or a digital first world? Right? What are the tools and technologies that I need to acquire more customers, right? Get more customers on digital mediums? So how do I build my website in a way that it's discoverable on internet? How do I make sure that more and more people come on my website? Now, we all know website traffics are anonymous. So along with acquisitions comes the question of conversion, right? These anonymous visitors should leave a phone number, should subscribe to your newsletter so that I know who are them. And once I have identified them, how do I make them buy? And in this entire journey, once he has bought, once he has become a customer, how do I retain him over a period of time? So when it comes to digital marketing, there are 4 distinct pillars, or there are 4 distinct domains that SMEs today are trying to grapple. The first one is content. What is the right content to be given to my customers? The second is data. What my customer is doing at any given point of time when he is on my website or app, and what's the best way to influence him or convert him. The third is, how do I stitch together this entire journey? How do I reach out to him in email, SMS, push notifications, Zoom webinars, right? A great way to acquire customers is doing Zoom webinars. And last but not the least, how do I make sure that he transacts? If I have a product or service to sell, the commerce part of it. And that's what we try to do at Adobe. And I think having established the digital operations, the next big challenge that the SMEs are looking is to market effectively and market directly to consumers. I think one big trend that I have seen is many SMEs today sell on digital through marketplaces. It could be Amazon, it could be Flipkart, or any other aggregator. The brand gets diluted there, right? I don't know what is the brand. I don't get dedicated marketplace. I'm one amongst the many listed. I have pricing pressures. I don't have data. So can I establish my own direct-to-consumer channel where they can come to me directly? I think these are some of the points that I wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you. For last 5 years, we are not sending any printed invitations. सबको आपको email से या WhatsApp पे मिला है ना? Credit goes to Adobe. We should thank to them. अदर साइड मेरे एसएमई का प्रिंटिंग का बिजनेस भी कम हुआ है, वो भी एक फियर है. बट एनीवे, बट अलॉन्ग विद दिस एडोब हो या जूम हो या टाटा टेली बिजनेस सर्विसेज के सॉफ्टवेयर हो, what is your observation, Raji, ki there are plenty of smart solutions available, but they are not having a proper skill and knowledge and education or training amongst the main workforce or even entrepreneur. Sometimes I fail to use WebEx or Zoom or any other platform. So what is your observation? Which are the smart business solutions can be extended properly to SME sector or to encourage them to utilize? So what is your observation, particularly in the skill manpower?
Thank you, sir. So observation is A, and second is implementation. If you type a Google, go to Google and type customer experience portal, okay, platform from Tata Tele Services. All these products are available there to experience yourself. A is archival, B is live. For example, you want to experience this smart flow in your environment. What we have done, you go to customer experience portal, which is available. You can click there, you can see all the contents. We talk about video contents or digital contents. B, if you want to go and see, demo yourself and put your environmental thing, like if you put your number and say how my number get patched and I can communicate, you can do that yourself. A. C is that if you want to connect someone who can help you out during that particular experience, you can connect, call as a click to call and talk to solution architect any given time. You can have a live chat, and also you can also leave a message. Somebody can talk to you later. A. So no, like for example, Zoom, okay. When I started first when Zoom, my daughter taught me how to go with Zoom and do it. But they know better than us. Okay, so same thing, very basic thing is written there in customer experience portal. There is no technology as such. You can just go and click and do it. For regarding smart solutions, there are 9 industries what we have deal with. In 9 industries we have around 17 subdomains under that 9 industries. Like in education there are 5 domains like universities and so on and so forth, and schools and all that. Everybody has a different requirement, at least 1 or 2. What we do, we do not give them a product, because SMS is a assume product or a smart flow is a product, may not be applicable for a person who is giving a university who is only dealing with few things. Okay, we give it to coaching classes for them. Smart flow is very important to get inquiries. Okay, B is that for like for hospitals. Okay, this is very important because sticky agent means what he described as sticky agent means. Suppose there is a doctor who is a heart specialist and he doesn't want to give a number, his number to the patient, but patient wants to talk to them. What we do, they can talk to a single number of hospital, automatically same doctor gets every time patched to talk to him and give them. So he feels that my doctor is attending me. So these are the solutions which is people require. They don't require a product. Okay, so we have around 10 solutions like this. Again, this solution not made by us. The solutions are prepared or the idea is coming from customer. Okay, what product we use to make that solution up and running basis of use case studies is actually what we talk about. So whenever we meet, our solution architect meets, he will talk, no, we will not talk about TFN, he'll talk about smart flow and all that. We'll talk about what is problem statement, and then we accordingly give a smart solutions. Thank you.
When we think that, particularly the Tata has brought very good services, Zoom has very good services, Adobe has good services, Chamber is providing value addition to the entrepreneurs. Now I would like to bring in on this field a seasonal batsman from the HR field, who has done a lot of activity, who has done a lot of efforts for the improving capabilities and capacity for the scale and knowledge. Anjuji, now recently she has joined with us as a head of our training and education program for SME Business Management Institute. all are bringing, quality services, quality smart solutions, various technological development. So what is your observation and what can be done for particularly for the entrepreneurs, one main workforce or existing entrepreneurs or particularly budding entrepreneurs, where we can focus more on the educating our manpower for a better services or better productivity?
This is a wonderful question to reflect upon, and thank you, sir, for asking this. Digitization in last 2 years has taken new shape and size. Right from a 5-year-old kid studying using the technology and enabling technology skills, through training and coaching where people were only focusing on functional soft skills and technical skills. Something new just erupted called as digital age skills. And this is something which is new in the ecosystem of the entrepreneurial world, the corporate world, and everybody who wants to equip themselves, become more resourceful to be able to take their business to the next level. That is what I feel digitization is doing. And of course, with enablers like Tata Tele Business Services, Zoom, and financial institutions, the fintech solutions that are available now for all of us to explore and do our bit. Some of this were not available for us to exercise few years back. Coming to specific how SMEs can become more resourceful and how digitization can help the SME sector take their leap of faith to elevate their business to heights they never thought they would. Exploring an ecosystem which SME Business Institute is setting up and taking charge of leveraging the industry experts, leveraging the coaching experts, the certified coaches across the country, expert trainers who have the business knowledge and the expertise. Bringing all of that together under one umbrella. And of course, I would say that marinating it with technology at the forefront. It will definitely take the digitization expertise to the next level, not only for the companies who are providing it, but also for the end user. And of course, the age of end user is now from 5 to 75, 80. I mean, one of the latest entrepreneurs I just spoke yesterday, who is 72 years old and is retired, cash rich, wants to set up something and contribute in the economy of the country, returned back from US, and an expert in technology, was wanting to know how can he contribute and what can he start and what can he set up as a new startup company in India, in Mumbai, and do well. So I think, yeah, it's now taking new shape. It's enabling us to do more, be more, and have more. And that's what digitization and digital technology is doing for us.
Good. That means we have to put forward regularly training, education, and skilling our manpower or main workforce. Now I have taken the Tata Teleservices Smart Business Solutions. I'm using Zoom. I have taken education from the Anju. Then I'm using the Adobe platform. I'm using the Mr. Khera's support. I started billing with my customers, but now my customers are not paying on time. So what, Jyoti, you are going to say on that?
Sorry, sir, your last line, I missed that.
I started business with my customers, but I started facing problem to get my receivables or funding for particularly for my business. How you are going to support on that?
Perfect. Thank you for this question. Salonki sir, आपने start किया था कि businesses को क्या चाहिए? Money, manpower, and markets. And जहाँ पे पैसे की बात आती है, so वहाँ पे financial technologies and digitization बहुत prefer किया जा रहा है, even from regulators. Just to give some numbers here, as said, businesses को 3 चीज़ें चाहिए. We are going to focus on the first part, money, finances, capital, जो backbone है हमारे businesses के लिए, हमारे MSMEs के लिए. आज की डेट में MSMEs हम लोग बहुत सेलिब्रेट करते हैं MSMEs को because they are truly the crowning jewels of the country's economy. And यही MSME sector is highly cash deprived, credit deprived. Just to put some numbers, as I said, there are $430 billion which is required for MSMEs in the credit space. Only 190 odd billion is made available. And this 190 odd billion, sir, comes from family, friends, and traditional avenues, banks and finance also joining hands. But there is a large gap which is still to be bridged of more than 300 billion. And as per Reserve Bank of India, ये bridge जो ये gap है lending का वो bridge करेगा fintech and digitization. Now there are players which have been here, which are into microfinancing right here in the panel and at the panel. They would know the real pain at the ground level, sir. Now capital को access करना as per current structure, there are three things which is required as per the Banking and Finance Act कि आपको किस basis पे पैसा दिया जा सकता है. One is your own capital, second is your character, third is your credibility. These three things make the regular credit assessment model of any financiers or banks. Let's speak on the first C, which is your capital. So ज़्यादातर MSMEs का जो मैंने देखा है, most of the capital is already locked in forms of collateral or they are already leveraged. So और कहाँ से collateral आएगा? So as a fintech firm in the digital lending space, we focus on the character building. Now the character building of any MSME requires them to demonstrate their paying capabilities. If they have paid the loan on time, if they have paid the EMIs on time, they have been a good seller and there has been no issues with regards to their business cycles and stuff, all this data around becomes a part of character. And which is where the companies which are in digital lending is contributing in building the character of the firms to be credit ready. And third thing, as I said, credibility is all about business cycles कि आप आगे आपका cash revenue क्या है, आपके business की volume क्या expect कर रहे हैं और उसमें से कितना आप loan लेना चाहेंगे और sustain करना चाहेंगे. And which is also where bankers and finance evaluate MSMEs. Digitization को importance character building में बहुत मिल रही है और बहुत regulatory thrust भी है कि हम SMEs को support करें और उनका जो trail है उनके data का, like आपने अगर 4 loans लिए और आपने चारों time पे settle किए हैं, वो that should become your credit score. And we should have a platform that can communicate to the financiers. So the whole gambit is एक balance of scales हो जहाँ पे MSME through clarity, through information अपने financiers तक पहुँच पाए, अच्छे rates उनको मिल पाए borrowing के लिए. और एक बार जब उनको financiers के options मिल गए, then वो gap जो credit को लेके है, वो gap complete होना या reduce होना वाजिब है, वो होगा. And which is where if your money is taken care of, your manpower management is taken care of, and your go-to-market strategy and everything gets built up from there. So they are all linked to each other, but and extremely critical for the business to be balanced and credit to be built. Sir.
Thank you. Soumitra ji, how the significant is in a digital transformation for SME segment? In your view, what can help them in accelerate their digital journey? What is your thoughts on this?
I think pretty significant since morning we heard how can we establish a digital business to operate. In terms of accelerating the digital journey, I think 2 or 3 trends that I will speak besides cloud computing and communication that already got spoken. The ability to be paperless, right? To be able to conduct a transaction end to end paperlessly, that's something that has come out very prominently, and that's an accelerated trend. The second one is to go to the consumers directly without unaided, without being unassisted by a middleman. The third one is around the ability to market to customer, not only to an end consumer, but also to businesses. So when we talk about digital marketing, it has two distinct domains. One is business to consumer, but the second one is also business to businesses. And there are many SMEs today who don't directly sell to the consumer, they market to businesses. So how do I discover a new market? How do I acquire more customers there? I think these are the three trends that I have seen in market. What will accelerate the journey? I think the adoption of digital as a marketing platform wholeheartedly is going to accelerate the journey. There is also a notion that digital marketing means spending money. I need to spend money on Google, I need to spend money on YouTube, or I need to spend money on platforms. I think that's a misnomer. There are better ways to market, and there are many platforms available today that help you market in a very cost-efficient way.
Now the question for all the panelists, third digital revolution will be impact or advantage? Start with the Raj.
Yeah. So there is a difference between digitization and digitalization. Okay. Digitization is activity, because all the technology based on called as IP, they only understand 0 and 1. So Tata Tele Services started with that. If you see a do big, you will find a 0 and 1 in do big. So we are already started our journey for we already digitized all our products which can actually integrate with your any APIs. API and all that are jargon of a technical. Digitalization is a journey. Okay. 3.0 talks about you create your own products which are digitized in format of getting integrated with any technology that is platform agnostic. Okay. So first, all entrepreneurs should start talking about or making their products digitized. Okay. Then digitalization journey will automatically get into it, because we have already done digitize your products. Then digitalization will automatically come into picture, and you can integrate with any platform, because just now Zoom has talked about integrating with all the platforms which are agnostic in terms of partner agnostic or the OEM agnostic. That is actually called as a digitization. Okay. If I stick to the one platform and restrict myself with my business with that particular thing, is not a thing now. The thing is that I should have plenty of options to do a digitalization and get into that journey, because a lot of things are going to come. Okay, the scanner with the specs with the scanner. For example, I am meeting you, sir. Okay, I don't know you, so I just look at you and you have a barcode here. I can look at that barcode and I get your name. I get your journey. I know everything now. Okay, so that is called as journey toward digitization. Will come. This is actually is happening now. So it will come now. I don't have to carry my visiting card. I do not have to carry my any brochure or any software or even mobile phone transfer of phone number. So this is called as 3.0. This talks about.
Mr. Khare, your remarks.
I think we are a company of digitization only. I think our birth happened during the world of digitization, right? But yes, definitely in my view, the 3.0 is definitely going to bring a lot of new ages to this, as we are seeing it. As I said some time back that, we have opened up our SDK and we are trying to integrate with the application, and we are trying to be integral part of the workflow. Likewise, there are a lot of new waves which are going to come in, right? And that is going to only enhance from here on, right? And that is only going to bring advantage to the SMEs, because that is only going to help them to enhance their horizons to reach their customers and also increase their productivity at the fastest level.
Mr. Khera, your comments.
So Mr. Raj and Mr. Khare summed it very, very well, means nothing more to add on it. Means digital is a reality and it is about accepting and change of behavior. Only thing is that we all know courtesy technology is available, that it is secure, but how private it is, everyone is quite concerned about it. Like even I am concerned, all SMEs are concerned. But yes, everyone is accepting a change with this digitalization happening, and if we have accepted the fact that we can go to a doctor virtually and get treated virtually, rest all the things, digitalizing the business, etc., are very, very simpler things. It is more of a behavioral change rather than on the technology side. Technology has been there. Pandemic has just forced us to accept it. Earlier it was like whether I'll go to office or I'll take leave. Now it is work from anywhere. And acceptance is so much high that for the technology resources, the demand is so high that even if we pay triple salaries, we are not finding good resources. So acceptability is there.
Soumitra ji, your views.
I think digital has bring us to a cusp of an historic opportunity. It has created a level playing field where we sitting in India have access to the same set of products and services that anybody in the world has. Like 30 years ago, we never had that opportunity. Today, a big enterprise is using Zoom, and so is MSME. At the PDF that you and I sign, it's the same that a PDF that any large enterprise has signed. So it's a level playing field, and we are all on the same node. From here onwards, as we look at Web 3.0, which is metaverse, augmented reality, virtual reality, the market is wide open, and it's for us to grab. That's what I think. Thank you.
Jyoti ji, your observations.
I agree to the panelist and the theme of this session. It's time to do big. And time and age, like we are talking about third revolution, digital revolution. It's the way I look at it, it's actually just beginning, and we are very fortunate to be a part of it and a participant of it, consumer of it, producer of it, to be an enabler in this. Yes, it's one of the revolution that has become boundaryless. It's opportunity everywhere, and digitization is not to be seen as a painkiller which you take once in a while, but it's in our diet like a vitamin C tablets today. You know, you have to have it. It's not if you should be digitized, but it's must to be digitized to not just survive, but to thrive and take India to global level. And I can't agree more than what my fellow panelists have said, that it's a revolution. We are part of it, make most of it, adopt every possible tool to get your business out there, because now is the time, if not us, who? If not here, where? So I think India is absolutely ripe to take maximum out of this revolution, and each of the panelists in their own unique way is bringing some amazing contribution to the ecosystem, and associations like this bringing the platform, creating the platform, bringing the know-how is just a stepping stone to the knowledge that just out there for us to grab and adopt at a business level. You want money, the fintech will bring it to you. You want options of financiers, with microfinancers, we will create that ecosystem. Technology will help you sign your documents even if you are in the remotest corner, you know, made by Adobe. Zoom, I didn't know that Zoom really has a physical person in the company. I thought it's all so digital, and it's and Tata Tele helping the companies to build the bandwidth so that the Zoom can be played on those PCs. I think it's an incredible opportunity. It's a wonderful stitch, and at this time in India, I feel very thrilled that there is a campaign like Atmanirbhar Bharat, you know, be resilient. And this is how to be resilient and march ahead. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. You know, while doing the exercise about particularly all this segment on digitization, Anjuji, what is your suggestion and initiatives, particularly for training? Because there is a smart solutions, but how they will utilize by our people? So what is your suggestion and initiatives will be particularly for coaching, training, giving education, not only just marketing and business development, along with that smart business solution, making smart entrepreneurs? Your thoughts?
So I would say that while most of it is covered by all the experts here, but I would just like to add that with so much of resources available with us, and with SME Business Management Institute opening the doors of coaching, mentoring and training through industry experts, we should empower ourselves, we should utilize these resources, we should build ourselves to enhance the digital age skills in each of our employees, whatever small, big size of an SME we are today. We need to capitalize on all the benefits available to us, create more user experiences, and most importantly, digitization of course has its pluses and minuses, but how are we taking the experience to the end user, to our customers whom we are serving, and how are we creating a value of significance for them? Because end of the day, everything boils down to what value add we are bringing to the table. On specific to the training, coaching and mentoring, this initiative that is started under the umbrella of SME Business Management Institute, I invite all the SMEs to come together to ensure that you leverage the solutions that are getting created using the industry experts, the subject matter experts, specific to each industry, each sector, and it's not only restricted to the functional and technical skills, but it is also open for many new skills that we uncovered and discovered in the last 2 years thanks to the pandemic. Looking at the number of entrepreneurs that were increased in the last 2 years is surprisingly very pleasant. I mean, many employees who chose to quit their 9-to-5 jobs and started their entrepreneurial journey are looking forward to a new India, a new ecosystem, and SMEs of course, who contribute almost 29% to the GDP of a country, who employ almost 111 million workforce, that contributes almost 40% of the workforce in India. I think we have a great story to share to the world at large. So let's make best use of the resources available to us through digitization, through technology, through fintech solutions, through coaching, mentoring, training, and take our story to the next level. Thank you.
Good. So along with the smart business solutions, we want to make our entrepreneurs also smart. With the closing remarks, I would like to open the open discussion. Rajji, you now tell me, we are in third digital revolution and we are entering to fifth industrial revolution. How this two segment will be hand in hand will create transformation in industrial and business segment. What is your not a takeaway, give away for the entrepreneurial perspective?
Okay, before that, one thing we are actually we can't ignore. When you are doing a digitalization, going from one journey to another journey, another episode, the security overlay is very, very important. Okay, because I'm not scaring you, but this is a $2 billion every month, I can say, loses on security. Okay, what is security overlay is there are, again I'm not scaring you, there are 350 attacks and 17 attacks are actually there which are prevalent everywhere, and there are 9 loopholes which every company has wherein the attacks can happen. While we are doing a journey from 2 to 3, 3 to 5, we must take this security overlay. Whenever you are having this data, voice or collaboration platform, ask a question to that person, what is the security overlay you are taking care? People talk about security layer on their own product, but talk about security on overall journey. So next journey talks about the security overlay. Because my business, my assets cost money to me and it has to be protected. So A is that we were analog earlier, now we are digitized. Third is that with digitalization we have done. Now security will play a big role in all, whether the data, voice or collaboration. That time I'll be not surprised, or people already started, every company has one security in charge for IT or telecom. So it is a wiser, instead of having a IT manager, let's have a security manager for assets. Okay, and that is a trend coming on, and the trend will go on now. So we will also, that is called as a security compliances officer. So this is going to be a new thing going to happen. Not new thing, is already there. Large enterprise already doing it. I know HDFC Bank, they already appointed a security main security person who takes care of, and he gets a target of how to save, because attacks are not going to. We can't prevent attacks. We can only mitigate. We can't eradicate attacks. We can only prevent, because every day there's a new attack. So 5.0 or 4.0, what you're talking, is talks about this particular thing.
Thank you. I think all of you must be not hungry, and we want to have open discussion for next 1 hour. Is it okay? So let us start with the relevant question. Yes.
Good afternoon to everybody. I think
Speak
audible.
loudly. First your name, company name.
I am audible, sir.
Question to the relevant speaker.
My name is Jagdish Parikh from Bimal Pharma Private Limited. We are on the platform of SME Chamber. So what I define SME means having the turnover between 5 to 20 crores annually. Now my question to Tata Teleservices is that what kind
Speak
of
loudly. Jara आवाज
most
मोटा करे.
audible?
No, just wait.
Is it?
Mic चालू नहीं रहे तो.
Hello? Sorry. My name is Jagdish Parikh. I am from Bimal Pharma Private Limited. Good afternoon to everybody. We are on the platform of SME Chamber, and I define SMEs from 5 crores to 20 crores turnover annually. So many SMEs are in this range. So what most economical solutions Tata Teleservices offer, not hi-fi but very simple, but with the quality. And second question is that Zoom, that we are required to have the Zoom meeting, sometimes 10 meetings in a month, sometimes 2 meetings in a month.
So you want to say that affordable services can be available for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good question, sir. Tata Teleservices do not deal with a large enterprise people. We are SME. We only, whatever 30,000 customers I spoke about, in any given time we give 18,000 billing every year. All are SME, MSME, and SMB we called. We don't give solutions to HDFC banks and ICICI bank directly. That is a Tata Communication what we have. So we know the pain area, we know the costing structure of particular SME. That's why I told you, sir. Don't talk to us for asking for a product. I want TFN, I want MPLS, I want smart internet. Talk to us on what is your problem statement. See, the people like, I'm taking examples of large enterprise L&T. They will talk about, give me this MPLS and connect me. But they have already done their homework. But for SME, please use us as a consultants. That's what we have, a solution architect across country. I head the division. You call solution architect and give your problem statement. Again, he will give you OPEX model. He will not give you a CAPEX model. You invest your CAPEX into your core business and ask for OPEX model or asset light model to us, wherein you will have monthly recurring charges and you can exit as per the exit clause. Have I answered your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know,
Zoom platform.
You know, this Tata Teleservices, last 5 years I had seen, not because of they are supporting this event, but whatever the activity and services and awareness program they are doing, which is a remarkable and outstanding work they are doing. I think Kapil ji आपने एक मिसिंग किया है, आपके जो प्रेजेंटेशन में हमारा अवार्ड नहीं लिखा है, इसलिए शायद उनको पता नहीं है कि they have benefited and recognized by India SME Excellence Award through our chamber last 18 February. So I suggest you can add that name so that they will realize you are doing remarkable work for SME sector. Next question.
So, yeah, I'm
Okay. So to answer your question, we are completely a SaaS-based model, right? Whether you want to do a 1 meeting, whether you want to do a 10 meetings, whether you want to do a 15 meetings in a year, that doesn't matter. We can have a complete solution design as per your requirement. We have various levels of agreement and various levels of licensing which is available. Just let us know what exactly your requirement is and we can give you the rightful solution to it. So it doesn't matter, and trust me, we are completely a SaaS based, so whether you're using it for 6 months, whether you're using it for a year, we can work out those models for you. That doesn't matter much.
What we can
Yes,
do,
we can. Yes, we
during
can.
lunchtime, there is a Zoom platform. You can go see other also hardware features and software is there.
Yeah,
So
sir.
you have 2-3 hours. Don't worry. हम lunch के लिए delay करेंगे वंदा नहीं, लेकिन पहले आप देख लीजिए. Yes,
Sir,
please.
I'm Dinesh Rana from Modera Chemicals. My question is related to the human relationship. In that COVID period, it was found that the working from the home, the productivity is down comparing to the working from the office. This may be because of the when you work in the office, there is a peers and the colleagues support. In the work environment, you find in the offices. And also, we were delighted, we were very pleased and delighted to meet in persons, so meeting like this, because we do not always talk business in this type of gathering. We socialize ourselves and talk business accordingly. So we promote the business in the physical events. So my question is this, that is it advisable to abandon the human relationship in the favor of anonymity in the digital world?
Okay, I can't answer the entire question, but I'll attempt it for sure. Definitely, we do have products, whether it goes to Zoom webinar or with Zoom events, those are the specific products. So there are incidences where you want to host an event, right? But you want to ensure that you invest once and reap a benefit out of that in the multiple cities, right? For example, you're hosting an event in Mumbai, but you want to reap the event across maybe Bangalore, Delhi, all other places, right? So you can host a co-event, whether you have a physical event and the same event you can stream it out to the rest of the cities, right? In the same event, you can have various breakout rooms based on the request or interest areas of the people. The way you are doing the networking out over here, right? You can identify your interest areas and you can create those breakout rooms and you can segregate those peoples in those rooms where they can discuss only their specific interest areas, right? The way you are doing it in your office, the way we are doing it in your event, right? So likewise, there are various other platforms which we have and where we can deploy, but the only advantage what you will get across is that instead of having one physical event and one physical city, you can actually stream it across and you can ensure that you have a larger audience getting addressed with it.
One very important thing I would like to share. 2009, TCS chairman, Mr. Chandrasekharan has sent one of the very expert and very knowledgeable person, Vengu Swami, to my office to understand what is the need of power for SME sector and what can be done for SME sector, and they have come out with a lot of platform. So therefore, Tata has taken initiative to empower our entrepreneurs. Why Chinese entrepreneur become so techno savvy? Because they are getting a lot of inputs, lot of knowledge, lot of education support from their various agencies. So why not our entrepreneurs can take this advantage? So Tata has come out with this solution. So let us take advantage. Third question.
Yeah.
दो क्वेश्चन अभी तक तो कोई बेनिफिट वाले नहीं है क्योंकि मेंबरशिप फ्री हो जाती है, तीसरा तो आना चाहिए.
Hi, this is Manoj Kale from Luminous International. Based on what you said right now, there are thousands of SMEs in true sense who do not belong to any privileged, affluent, empowered section of our population. Can their services be brought in the ambit of SME with focus on technology, marketing, finance and digitization? How are you planning to basically reach to those type of potential SMEs? Those who are actually, they cannot reach to you as a, what you say, attend the seminars or something of that sort. So how are you planning to do that?
Ball goes to who?
it's for everyone actually, but specifically
we have our opening batsman.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
No, I see. His question was to how to reach. Okay, I will talk about my company, how we want to reach. Okay, we have a goal of reaching 1,50,000 logos in 3 years. SME, again SME. Okay, we have already touched upon 30,000. We doing a business with them. Okay, in order to reach that, what kind of product we should have? So Zoom is one of the strategy to have a product where I can reach masses. A. B is that I cannot have so much manpower to reach that particular SME everywhere. Because we have a MSME, SME, micro SME, there are multiple MSME. And last is the SOHO. SOHO we don't deal with right now. But we can go up to micro SME. So we have a product. If you see earlier products were PRI, ILL, the large products which are CapEx oriented product. Our strategy to go on OPEX or asset light products is that we want to achieve 1.5 lakh logo in 3 years, and we will do that. So this is what is, and we already have a strategy in place to reach. Again, I said, platform like this one, platform like O365 are the products which we have. That is nothing but reaching a mass SMEs. That is a SaaS model we are achieving.
Last question.
Sir, I just add to your question that how can the unstructured and the SMEs who are still not established, this is one of the objectives with which why we started this initiative under the umbrella of SME Business Management Institute, of getting the unstructured SMEs, giving them the support in marketing, scales, branding, HR, technology, such that they are able to flourish, they're able to build their ecosystem, and they're able to run. It's not only the matter of survival, but it is also the matter of significance and scaling a business to the next level. So this is one point I wanted to add. Thank you.
My suggestion is, let us create our cooperation where you provide solutions, we will provide education to the entrepreneurs and one foremost. So where we are using smartphone, Pro Max 13 iPhone, but उसमें क्या है पता नहीं, खाली हम लोग फोन के लिए वापरते हैं. आज देखिए WhatsApp ने 22 people can at a time they can have a video call, 45 in a Telegram, many platform is coming. So Zoom को भी competition बढ़ रहा है. So why not we create a value and awareness amongst entrepreneurs. So last award-winning question.
Can I ask question?
Yes.
Thank you for organizing this nice SME Chamber of India. And Chandrakantji, you have been very kind enough always organizing this thing. We have attended you for digitally also and now in front also. Thank you very much. I have a question to Mr. Raj and Mr. Khare. Can help me please with this. Now we are talking about a lot of things about Tata Teleservices. They have something to serve us. Zoom is another platform. So we all know now world has changed and moved towards more of like social media also. I mean, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have many more platforms through which people are building business. In talk of Mr. Dr. Shan, he mentioned community digitalization, community building kind of thing. So social media also plays a very important role in building a business. Is there anything we can think of, Mr. Raj, Mr. Shan?
Last question, what is the question you said?
Is we can amalgamate or we can join something with the social media, all the Tata Teleservices, which can help us in building the business. And I have a second part too also, I'll come back.
Okay, let me try to answer it. So when you're looking at, as a SME, you want to try to reach the masses, right? As we were discussing some time back, is equally important, right? The people who are reaching out to you, that you give a response back to them and convert that into the opportunity, right? That is an equally important aspect. To convert it back to the opportunity, what you can do to reach to the masses, you can host webinars, or these are going to be again a restricted one. However, when you host a Zoom webinar, at the same time, you can do a YouTube streaming out of that at a click of a button. So anyone who is on the YouTube, on the go, right, can actually see your webinar live. So the product what you're trying to demonstrate, the product what you're trying to conduct out of it, is not restricted for the people who are just attending those webinars. You can go and reach beyond that. Similarly, you can have various tools and mechanisms within the Zoom platform by which you can get directly connected to the social media tools or social media handles by which you can actually propagate there. I hope I tried to answer.
Yeah, very true. Have a little knowledge about this. But YouTube, people, those who join with the YouTube, they cannot interact. Only Zoom people can interact. Suppose if I'm on Zoom, you all are on Zoom, we can interact. But people, those who are on YouTube somewhere in remote place, they cannot. So we need to...
I completely agree with you. Unfortunately, YouTube is a one-way channel. Unfortunately, there is no way where I can raise my hands and talk.
That's why I asked for the social media. And I I'm so sorry, just let me add one point. Like Instagram now has gone up so high, and especially youngsters, young generation. India is almost 60% below 35 age. Youngsters are there. Our young entrepreneurs are coming. Even a couple of days back, we had some function at Bhumi World. I could see a lot of youngsters, almost around 25% of boys and girls, and they were very excited about it. Now, Instagram is being used by 3 billion people across the world. So these are I'm just hinting a platform where we can, jointly do something big for SME. It will help because it's very handy, easy, and quick.
Absolutely. Very valid point, and definitely we'll work together towards that along with Tata Tele to create something jointly as an offering coming to the SME. But at the same time, as you said rightly, that the way in Instagram or whether it's YouTube or whether it's Facebook, it is always a one-side channel which gets open, right? Unless until you are not doing the Facebook Live. There is always a one-side channel get open. You don't have asked question, but the larger question which you are trying to address here is to reach to those correct masses, right? Once you reach to those masses, if they are interested in your product, they can always reach back to you. That is the whole thought.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually this question is actually very close to ML, that is machine learning. In machine learning, what they talk about, anybody, live, anywhere, can be pulled in, okay? So that something is happening on that if you go to ML. It is nothing to do with AI. So ML, in that particular thing, what you are thinking about, suppose I am talking to you on Zoom, okay, Zoom is already told that we are coming with this hardware where it is a partner agnostic. You can pull in any, whether it is a Microsoft team or Skype or anything.
Google Meet and or
it is an API integration.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, now right, give example, small example, nothing to do with social media.
Yeah.
There is a restrictions of getting PSTN and internet together in this country by DOT. We come under DOT thing. Now you will very soon will see that we have integration of PSTN. That means if when you have a Zoom, okay, or when you have any collaboration platform, not Zoom, any collaboration platform, you can talk to me on my mobile phone. That is PSTN line, right? Okay, that we already done a POC and all that will come up. So that is nothing but integration. Now you're talking about a YouTube. YouTube was a communication. Instagram is communication. Very soon you will find the integration. It's a matter of integration. It's nothing to do with the platform. If they allow APIs to get into it, this also can be done. So this is actually people are working on it. I do not have any evidence of that social media, but PSTN we already have done POC.
Appreciate Mr. Khare and Mr. Raj. Thank you.
Last question from ladies last. Yes. Always we say ladies first, now ladies last. Ms. Thakkar, you can.
Hi everyone, my name is Aarti and I run a digital marketing company. So my question is to Mr. Raj about the Tata Tele. So the recent issue that I face, okay, when it comes to static IP addresses, static IP addresses when it comes to internet. So does Tata Tele also provide such kinds of services?
No, you tell me the what problem you are facing.
So basically when we wanted to access, remote access of US client.
Remote access, yes, we have called as a remote access. You want to remotely access data or voice?
Data.
we have a remote access connectivity or the remote access solutions which are there, we call as remote access solution, we already have. If you tell us which server or which particular content you want to access remotely with a secured manner, we can do it for you.
Okay, so that is the one.
Without flapping of IPs,
Okay.
without flapping around and encrypted.
Yeah, so that
Correct.
was the one thing. And
That is a remote access.
that remote access. And then when Mr. Iyer was running a presentation, in that there was a marketing strategy where they talk about SMS solutions. So do we have, or are we coming up with WhatsApp marketing solutions
We
as
already
well?
have. We already have. Kapil, you can answer.
This is better. What we are trying to do is, we've already bundled in SMS part of the equation into SmartFlow. We are in the works to bundle WhatsApps. So what happens is, you just take that one solution, you decide how you want to address your customer, either of these three channels or an integrated way of these three channels. So that's already in the works. Q1 is when we are thinking of launching that. It will get embedded back into WhatsApp, because a standalone solution, our belief is, a standalone point solution doesn't solve your larger problem of reaching your customers through a omni-channel mode. So that's the thought process that we are working on.
Correct. But when it comes to WhatsApp, it talks about that it is end-to-end encryption. So how we are going to...
So we will be partnering with WhatsApp,
Okay.
right? WhatsApp for Business, and integrating that back into SmartFlow. So again, coming back to our philosophy, that we want to be providing you one solution which takes care of all your needs. You don't need to have one thing with WhatsApp for your voice communication with someone, for your data end communication with someone else. We are embedding all of it there. So we bring the WhatsApp encrypted stuff into us, and we add our layer of encryption so that you get the best possible solution. Again, the focus is omni-channel. We don't want to get into point products. To say, sirf SMS bechna nahi hai, sirf voice nahi, we want to give you the complete suite.
But even the WhatsApp also, sorry, I'm getting a little technical.
We will have a one-to-one meeting.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
that
we
would
can
be
catch up
better.
during the
Yeah,
lunch.
sure.
All are angry now because they are hungry.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay. So friends, this platform is specially to learn, understand and go ahead. तो ये सरल भाषा में समझाया तो सीखो, समझो और आगे बढ़ो. हिंदी में कहा जाए तो. So this is the right, and I received the note from Sakshi Kulkarni that no one has won the membership, free membership, so she has extended 10% discount to all of you. Those are going to enroll today. So with this friend, with this word, thank you very much. Thank you, Tata. Think the big, do big, and become a big. Thank you very much. All the best. Let's join for lunch.